Welcome. My name is Christy Brown, and you are at the Make It Fresh seminar. So say hello to the camera. Hello, everybody.
Hi. Good morning.
We are glad to have you here. So first, we are going to start with the world's best vanilla. I'll give you one. There you go. And if you can just take one and keep passing it. All right, so the famous bladder, the famous bag of mix here. This can be called a different variety of words. Some call it a bladder, some call it a blend, and some call it a mix. It's all the same thing. Different parts of the country call it different things, depending on where you call. So when you do call to order your dairy mix, it's very important you explain you need at least 10% butterfat or higher. And it needs to be a hard ice cream mix, not soft serve. So fun fact, the FDA does regulate by law what is called ice cream. So ice cream must contain at least 10% butterfat to be called ice cream. If it's less than that, that's why it's called soft serve. That's why it's called frozen dessert. So if you're going down the grocery aisle or you see something and it says frozen dessert, frozen treat, it doesn't contain 10% butterfat. So by law, anything over 10% is an ice cream. All the other products out there, not regulated. Gelato's not regulated, Italian ice isn't, sorbet isn't, anything like that. It's just ice cream. They have three different kinds. So they have a custard base, they have a vanilla base, and they have a chocolate base. Vanilla base is this one. If you taste it, it doesn't taste like vanilla, it just tastes like a sweet cream. So if you order a vanilla base, don't expect it to taste like a vanilla. You don't need to buy extract because you do. It just tastes like a sweet cream. The custard base is just an egg yolk. That's all that's added to it. Egg yolk is also a natural stabilizer too. So when your finished product comes out and it's been hardened and then you scoop it, it'll have like this pretty sheen to it. It's honestly a preference. I've used custard many times before and you really can't honestly taste a big difference. Maybe to a pro you could, but your customers you can't. So if you're in a pinch and your supplier only has custard mix available, that's fine. It does no difference. It's just the same thing, but with egg yolks in it. There is a dairy supplier list in your packet, and it's broken down by state. So if you need to find a dairy supplier in your state, just look for your state and then just give them a call and be sure to ask for the hard ice cream mix. Any questions about this? Oh, I felt like you had one. You almost had one.
I do have one, sorry.
Yes.
So batter, blend, mix, would people also call it a base?
Some people call it a base too, yep. Like tomato, it's all the same thing. It's just, there have been a few customers that have called back and they've gotten frustrated because for the life of the supplier, they just could not understand that they don't want soft serve. So it's very important you just make it very clear that that you don't order a soft serve. So a lot of the ladies and the receptionists and whatnot, they don't understand, and then they ship you a soft serve or you order it and you go to pick up. It'll clearly say it on the box too, soft serve mix. Because they do make a 10% soft serve. The difference is there's stabilizers in the soft serve mix that helps the ice cream keep that peak on a cone. It'll still work in a batch freezer, but it's just recommended that you use two separate ones. You can have a sign up in your store saying that there are allergens. I would always just have something up. I think we have, oh, it fell down. But we have one that says allergens and peanuts. But I would put something like that up there too. It's really not going to be a substantial difference. I do know some switch to going to a custard because it helps with scooping. If it depends again on what type of freezer you have. If you have a chest freezer, if you have a dipping cabinet, there's different brands out there. If it's not consistent, you're struggling with the scooping of your product, switching to a custard base can help because an egg is a natural stabilizer, so it'll help with the scooping. But it is costlier if you do get the egg. If you can go this route, go this route. If you prefer to do a custard base, go for it. If you have the ability to order both and then run a batch of the same flavor in both and see a difference, you could do that too. It's honestly just a preference. But I would just have a sign up saying that it's the egg base has been added to it or anything of that sort. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start. So this was sanitized yesterday. There is nothing special or hard or complex about sanitizing a machine. We recommend Sterashine here. This is a very good product. All the health departments know it. They love it. And if you have it like kind of out on your shelf when they come in for inspection so they can see it, it'll help you, just probably pass the buck a little bit more. It's a powder, and it is a bleach base, but it doesn't stain. But it is food safe, so this is food grade. And it's real simple to mix, and you pour it in the machine here, like so. And then you just turn something on, any speed you want, to turn the dasher on to keep it going. And just to sanitize for however long your county says. Some states say 3 minutes, some say 5, some say 30 seconds. So it just depends on how long your county wants you to sanitize it for. And then you open the gate, discharge the water, and you're sanitized, ready to go. So we already did that yesterday. All right, this is a little trick I teach because this could be a little complicated. So some of you will work with the bladders depending on what flavor we're doing for your volunteer. To never make a spill, so I always, you'll probably laugh, but you choke and you grab, okay? That's how you never make a miss. Choke and grab, okay? So you're gonna choke it here, you're gonna pop this off, and you're gonna grab it. And you'll never make a spill. This is 2.5 gallons. Most, if not all bladders, come in this size. Some dairies will do them in gallon jugs. Some will do them in half gallons, which is not really feasible, but if that's how the dairy has it, that's the way you have to go. This is a 2.5 gallon container. So this ran at 100% overrun with the 2.5 gallons we put in. We'll make 5 gallons of finished product. Most people put just one bladder in, run it, call it a day. You have the ability to open another bladder and pour 2 more quarts in, but nobody ever really does. They just dump a bladder and go. You can also do the 3 gallon containers, which if you do it that way with one bladder, it'll just give you one full 3 gallon and then a little over half of the next one. So it just depends on what type of mix and how much you're using at one time. To put it in perspective too, while we're talking about it, 24 quart makes 2 of these. CB350 makes half. CB200 does a quarter. And the 44 quart does 4 of these, all in one batch. So it's a big, big difference. This is the one that I have at home. We'll talk about it a little later. It's a lot of fun. So we are just going to do a plain vanilla. Here we are. You guys all have a sample bottle from Lockhead on your desk. That's who we're using today. This is a very good company. They do a lot of good for the community. I really do support them. There are other brands out there, cheaper vanillas. There's some even more expensive. If you're making a plain vanilla flavor ice cream for your customer, use the good stuff. If you're using it for just notes, like adding it to a coffee or adding it to an Oreo, use the cheap stuff. I have used very expensive vanilla, Madagascar twofold, and I have used this, which is a vanilla blend. I prefer this, and I'll just to give you my experience. I prefer this because I'm tasting like I'm eating a vanilla. The Madagascar twofold, it's extremely strong, and it kind of tastes like I'm eating an alcohol because it's so potent. You could cut back, but then you're getting rid of the vanilla notes, so I just like to stick with this one. And if Darren saw me now, because we're doing an ounce per quart, he'd lose his mind. So don't watch Darren. It's okay. Why am I measuring? We never measure at Emory Thompson. So we're going to do about that much. Okay, so we're going to just do homemade. So to get the machine started, you just touch the screen. You hit Make Ice Cream. And there's preset settings on here for you. So it has homemade, super premium, gelato, custard, Italian ice, and the RPMs are already set. So you would just have to hit homemade, start, super premium, start, and the machine will start turning for you. So we're gonna hit homemade, and we're gonna hit start. She's on and ready to go. I know this is all I'm gonna add, so I'm gonna go ahead and ignite the refrigeration. And we're gonna pour in our vanilla. I think Lockheed recommends, I a half ounce to a something. I don't know. I'll let you guys pass it around so you can sniff it so you don't have to open your bottles. If anybody flew, those are TSA okay, the little bottles. So we're running it at homemade. So homemade is 100% overrun. So the faster the dasher spins, the more your product's going to expand. The slower your dasher spins, the less your product is going to expand. So you're getting double what you put in. So you put in 2.5, you're going to get out 5. The slower the dasher spins, the less air it's putting into your product. So you're going to get less out. The faster the dasher spins, the more it's going to expand your product. It's kind of like if you take heavy cream and you put it into a bowl and you whisk it super fast, it's going to expand and you've got whipping cream. If you take that same heavy cream, turn it real slow, you're going to wind up with butter. So it just depends on how fast you spin. You, the ice cream maker, will write down your formula. You use, 1 bag of this, which is 10 ounces, I think. So you put 10 ounces of mini chips, or you got to get 6 bags. There's bulk, which you can see there, the Hershey boxes. That's like 5 pounds of chocolate chips, and you can measure out how many you want that way. But as far as like conversion charts, we don't do anything like that. So freeze times. We're doing just a plain Jane vanilla. Plain vanilla can take anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes, just depending on the type of vanilla you use, because vanilla is an alcohol. So the more alcohol you add, longer it's going to take to freeze. This here, I call her Old Reliable. She's been in here for quite a while, but she'll freeze it down pretty fast, and she gets shipped off to trainings and whatnot, so we play with the TX valve quite a bit. But so she'll probably freeze a little bit faster than she should. Once we start introducing sugars, whether that's candies, cookies, brownies, even a nut, that's a sugar that's being introduced, it's going to increase your batch times. So no flavor is going to be frozen the same time. So you'll have to have a notepad next to you, and then you're going to write down the freeze time for that. So you can dump anything you want in here, you can taste it, you can turn the dasher on, because we'll do that a couple times today too. And then once you hit that, it's game on. So you got to know that we started it. So you can extract it within a minute or two if you really want to, shut off the refrigeration, but you've got a lot of playtime before you have to really turn it on. And then once you turn it on, you know that's your set flavor, you make this every single day, then I turn it on and just dump and go.
What then was the difference between homemade, premium? What result was that?
So she asked, what is the difference between homemade and premium? So homemade is 100% overrun, super premium is 65% around there, custard is about 35. What else is on there? That would be a dairy. A gelato, that one is about 30%. So those are more dense and more heavy product. Italian ices, sorbet, those don't have any overrun, but just enough to expand for the water molecules to freeze. Kind of like when you stick a water bottle in the freezer and it just expands to freeze. Same concept, because there's no fat. Only products that expand is dairy. So again, if you put heavy cream in a bowl, whisk it very fast, it's going to expand, right? If you do sugar water in a bowl and whisk it real fast, it's not going to do anything. It's going to stay sugar water. It's going to stay the same thing. Same thing in here, it's just expanding to freeze. In the manuals, which is also downloadable on our website, does have that overrun chart that you can also access at any time. And of course, you can email me and ask as well. When to make a homemade or a super premium product, I would always go with homemade if you can. Save your fancy flavors for probably super premium, like butter pecan, salted caramel. Those you can charge a little more for because they're higher end than your just plain Jane vanilla that you would run at 100% overrun. So it's just a preference. Super premium is also supposed to be a higher butter fat. So if we're using a 10% and run it on super premium, legally we can still call it super premium, but essentially it's really should be like 14% or higher to be what a ice cream connoisseur would call super premium. So we're at almost 7 minutes in. Once you turn on this refrigeration, there is a timer that starts here for you. Once you shut off the switch, it'll stop this timer. And as far as extraction, there's no right or wrong way for you to pull your product. Every chef is different, so what you might like might not be what I like. We go by what we call the cutoff check, which is a consistency. So I'll just do one now. It's not going to be ready. So you see how it's kind of piddling down? That's still too runny for me. There's been some I've seen that do pull it that thin. That's okay. That's how you want to pull it. It's probably a little too thin for me and the ice cream molecules expanding. When we cut it off, we want it to kind of cut more clean and just kind of plop down into the pan. But you don't want to pull it too thick. That smells good. If you do, then you'll have a lot of air pockets. And you'll be sitting here trying to knock your ice cream container down, trying to get all those air pockets out. So you want to pull it at a thinner consistency so it can fill your container up nice and even. If you also pull it way too thick, it'll leave a lot of product in your cylinder. It'll get stuck to the blades, it'll get stuck to the springs because it's just so thick because it got so cold. So extracting it at a thinner consistency will help get all that product out.
Stop the refrigeration and the timer. Want to start it again? Does it restart or does it start at zero?
When you go to restart it again?
If you restart it again, does it go to zero?
So he asked if I shut off the refrigeration switch on the timer. If I shut it off and then turn it back on, does it restart? And yes, it does. So if I shut it off, it zeroes itself out and it starts all over again. Once it hits a certain consistency, so even though it took 7 minutes to get there, it's not going to take another 7 minutes to freeze that much firmer. It'll start to get pretty thick pretty quick after that. So it was already at that consistency, so let's give it a go and see how it already got pretty much thicker. When you guys come up to do the cutoff check, that'll be real fun. You guys can, some hold it, you know, like wee, willy-nilly, and it just keeps dumping out. Any questions? No? Wake up. I knew I should have started with alcohol first. So we're pushing about 9 minutes. So we'll probably let it go about 10. Oop.
You said you're going to do a chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. Could you do it all in one bucket?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. So this is called the Great Divide. This is an older one. I should just leave this tub out. But this is what exactly that does. So it fits in here, and so you would put your vanilla in here, and if you have 5 or 6 of these, you'd put them in 5, 6 tubs. You put your vanilla in here, set them in the freezer, make your strawberry, pull it out, add your strawberry, repeat the process. Once it's full, you pull it out, and then you have Neapolitan ice cream. You can do that with Italian ice too, like Superman. You can do strawberry, lemon, blueberry, red, white, blue.
Rainbow.
Yeah, rainbow. Yep, exactly. We also have a 2-flavor one too that goes in it, so you can do 2 flavors or you can do 3. What was your question?
So overrun is really just the amount of air.
Say that again.
Is overrun describes more like or less about the amount of air in the product?
Correct. So he asked about overrun. Does that describe the amount of air? That is correct. So overrun is the same terminology as air content. It's just the scientific term for it as far as overrun goes. When you run a homemade product at 100% overrun, and we're going to dump 4 packages of Oreos in there, you're depleting it now. So you're making it heavy, you're making it very dense, so you won't get that full 5 gallons back out of overrun air content. You might in volume, but it won't be as far as like air. So even running it at homemade, the fastest setting, and dumping all kinds of good stuff in there, we're still going to make it a dense product because we're weighing it down. So I think we're good. So it kind of cut it off pretty clean. I'm going to let it go for about another minute. It's probably one more question. I know you guys got something.
So when you do the tricolor or double color or flavors, I'm thinking how much time, like do you have a time recommendation before you add in the next? Because now you have a frozen, like solid flavor in first, and then one that just came out of the batch. Does it mess up? Do they start to cross? Like, will it start to melt the other one before you just stick it straight in the freezer again the second time?
So I leave the divider in there until all 3 are in there. Then I put it in the freezer after all 3, and I let it sit for probably 10 minutes, depending on what type of freezer you have. If it's a chest freezer, probably 20 minutes to let it get hardened. And then you just wiggle it and then pull it out. If you pull it out when it's real fresh, it has a tendency to kind of stick to the side, and you would pull some of that fresh ice cream off.
What if you do want to mix all together?
So there's a variegate way if you're looking to do that. There's a great video Jeff did a couple years ago, and I can email that to you if you'd like, and it teaches you how to make a really beautiful marble. I've done a lot of different methods, and Jeff is honestly the best one. Okay, so we're ready. We're just gonna do this. and just keep doing that until we pull everything out. So it's good to harden it at least 8 to 12 hours or overnight. Again, it depends on for what you're using, if it's a chest freezer or not. Chest freezers, you just can't overload them. So if you have a CB350, it'll be good. Let me finish this, and that's a good topic to talk about real fast. We have one that we offer. That's that one in that back corner right there that you see.
The tall standard?
The tall, skinny one. So, oops.
2.5 or 5 gallons, I just going in.
In your packet, there is the spec sheet for it, and at the bottom of the page, it tells you how much capacity it can hold. I believe it's 2.5 gallons is what I think it is. Goodness.
Is it a dial, not thermostat, temperature, controller? Or is it digital?
It's digital, and both cabinets can be controlled at different temps, so it can go as high as -10 and as low as -25.
Does it come with an alarm?
Say that again?
Does it come with a power fail alarm?
I don't believe so, but there is a device called the Temp Stick. It's just a quick Google of that. That's a device that you can put in anything, and it's an alarm, and it can set up for you, and it can set up for as many text messages of people that you need. I think 5, and once it gets to a certain temperature that you set it for, that will set off a text, a call, an email to you saying, hey, this isn't working. Got to feed them first. It'll melt a lot faster than a traditional soft serve will. Again, it doesn't have the additives that it's supposed to have to keep its peak, so it'll melt a lot faster. So we are ready to go to our next flavor. Do we have a volunteer? You want to? Okay. All right, so you can get your apron and mic on, and we'll get this cleaned up. We're going to do the CB350. While you're doing that, I'll get these all lined up. So we had 2 not come, right? So 23.
The machine that you're using now, or almost vanilla, is that cooled with a fan, or is that the water cooled?
This is a water cooled. When you hit the floor models, we really recommend to do water versus air. So these are only air cooled. There's no way to build them in water. They're just too small for that. Floor models can really pump out a lot of heat. So there's no plumbing involved. It's essentially just a supply and a drain. So you can have your water supply as far or as close as you need it to be. You can see here we have it just as an S-hook, hooked over into a 3-bay sink. It's not very complex at all. And it's just a little stream that comes out. So it's clean water just going in the machine, keeping it cool, and comes right back out. It doesn't consume any water until you turn on this refrigeration switch. So you can rinse it, clean it all day, doesn't matter. It won't consume until you turn this on, and then it stops using it within about 30 seconds of shutting it off. This can pump out 18,000 BTUs of heat. That's a lot. So in this room, if I was making ice cream all day, I would get very hot very fast. Even with that CB350 and as cold as it is here, it'll get this room pretty warm if we were to run it all day long. So really having good ample airflow is crucial. You won't break the machine. You'll just notice an increase in batch time. So instead of it producing in 12 minutes, it'll start going 14, 16, 18 because it's breathing in hot air. The big guy down there, when you upgrade to the 40 quart, he's or she's a beast. You can fit a small human in here. You guys can check it out later. This one, water cooled, only comes in 3-phase. So you would need to make sure your building does have 3-phase before you go to this guy. If not, we'll have to do an air cooled, which is a remote unit that gets installed outside, and we can do a single. This is 220. We provide the plug and the outlet for you. So all you have to have is just an electrician install the outlet, and then you're ready to plug and play. This is a bare wire, so you can either have a plug put on it, same with the 40 quart, or you can have it into a box like that. I suggest having it into a box because wet hands at the end of the day, go to unplug it, you can shock yourself with it. And then wherever you do install it, be sure you can reach it because there is no off switch. So the only way to shut it off is by killing the power. We recommend that every single day because you never know. Lightning strikes, power outages, brownouts, surges. You want to protect your assets. Okay. All right. So the formula is there. If you want to, right here. If you want to give one to, or give it to Sarah, she can pass it around.
Yep.
Tropical punch. Okay. So this is your formula here. Okay. Not sure how much sugar is left in this one. So the scale might be on, let's see. It is not. There you go. So you'll need, there you go. It'll tell you here. 1.5 pounds. Holy cow. We are going to be making an Italian ice. From watching the videos, can anybody tell me the difference between Italian ice and sorbet? You guys are not real fans? I'm just kidding. Good. I've not heard that one, but no, there's no difference. There is absolutely no difference.
I didn't think so.
There's not.
I tell people all the time when they ask, well, what is it? I'm like, well, they don't assume it's sherbet.
Sherbet is a dairy, so that's got a dairy and a water base to it. Also,
Push pops, that was there.
that was a dairy. So the new name for it is cream ice, but it's the same thing. Sherbet and cream ice are the same thing.
Using this bucket?
Yeah. Yep. So with that said, Italian ice can be anything. If you look at what a definition of sorbet is, it's a fruit base. It's got fruits and sugars and waters and fruits and bases and whatnot. You look at the ingredients of Italian ice, same thing. Sugar, water, fruits, and whatnot. It's how you market it. So we're going to make this and call it a tropical punch, and we are going to market it to your store. You're going to scoop it during the high touristy season, and you're going to charge $5 for your 6-ounce cup of Italian ice. And then you're going to take this to a wedding that you're going to cater, and you're going to call it Sarah's Hunch Punch. I don't know. We'll come up with something last minute. And you're going to charge that wedding, and you're going to have them pay $8 to $12. Why? Because it's a sorbet. You can put it in a fancy cup, call it a sorbet. It's how you market it. There's no difference. When you do Italian ices, the soda will be a little fizzy, so just pour it slow so it doesn't go foaming at you. When you work with Italian ices, you don't have to use a base. So you can see the bases, they're far over there. Hold on, I'll go grab one for you. Talk about red dye 40 in a jug. You don't have to use a base. There are certain flavors that do struggle and do need some help. An example, blueberries. They're very pretty to look at, but they don't taste as pretty as they look. They need help. So that's when a blueberry base would be needed. Same thing with mangoes. If I'm using mango, I just covered my mic. If I'm using mango juice or a mango water, and I will need a mango base. I can't use water and throw mangoes and expect it to taste like a mango Italian ice. I would need a base. But I try to eliminate that. So I buy mango juice, sugar, and mangoes. That's all you need. You don't have to use a water to make a sorbet or an Italian ice. I think I've used every juice down the juice aisle. Only ones that don't really work well are like the lemonades or the like pink lemonade, regular lemonades. Those are pretty diluted. So I just buy the country time powder and then I just make it extra strong. So
You use puree.
you can use a puree. You can buy it in bulk and there's compounds too, like those colorful ones that you see there. Those are all natural. So obviously I'm not going to throw cinnamon rolls in a machine and it tastes like cinnamon roll. You know, I want to help it with something. Tiramisu is a hard flavor to hit. So I'm going to use a puree or a paste or a gel or a compound for that. Itaberco, their information is in your packet as well as the direct contact. I recommend them. They are a really, really good company. They have compounds and some powder mixes we'll talk about. This is a stabilizer. This is what is needed if you are going to have your ice or sorbet last longer than 3 to 5 days. Reason is what happens is if it's fresh, it's going to start to separate. So all of your sugars are going to be on the bottom and it's going to be very dark. And then at the top, it's going to be very light. Stabilizers, you don't have to use them, but if you're making in bulk for events and whatnot, you're going to need it. And then also it helps with scooping and it doesn't melt as much either. So it does exactly as it says. It stabilizes your product. Pass this around so you guys can check that out. Stabilize. All right.
For Italian ices, we've been having allulose or allulose with like a monk fruit cut. Any recommendations there?
So I don't like monk fruit. Reason is because the machine needs something to freeze. The equal ratio of a sugar to a monk fruit is too little. So you would use like a cup of monk fruit to 2 pounds of sugar. Your product's going to come out very crunchy if it even gets to the freezing point. So it's a science thing. I'm not a scientist. The machine has to have a sugar to freeze. If we put in a juice, that'll definitely help it. But you might be able to do maybe a pound of sugar and maybe a half a pound or a half a cup of monk fruit. I'm not positive. I haven't played with those. But allulose is the equal ratio. So if you use 2 pounds of sugar, you would use 2 pounds of allulose. So you would just substitute any of our flavors that you see for the same amount, just in allulose. To another topic, there's no such thing as a sugar-free. It's a no sugar added. So fruits naturally contain sugar. So if you're making a fresh fruit sorbet and you say, oh, it's sugar-free because you used allulose, it's not. It's a no sugar added. You can say no artificial sugars. Same thing with ice cream. To get that sugar-free ice cream that you have in the grocery stores, it's chemically burned. It's got to be burned down. They burn all the sugars out. Then they use a substitute because the milk coming from the cow contains sugar. So there's no way to buy a bladder-free mix that's sugar-free. It's got sugar in it. Yes? You can stir the spatula here.
Stabilizer that it
The
uses
white one.
high fructose corn syrup.
Mhm.
Is there any that you know of that have corn or corn syrup?
I believe Oranger bakes one. That's the system. I'm not positive what's in it. Green Mountain Flavors, that's who you want to contact. That's that green folder that you guys have that's with your packet. Reach out to Stan. He's going to be that has an all-natural stabilizer. He also has all-natural dyes, so he doesn't do anything, instead of red dye 40, he uses, like it comes from beet juice. He could do blues, he could do greens, he could do purples, he could do all those, and they have all-natural. I have one up here, actually. It's older. We have these for show, so don't come at me thinking I use expired stuff. Here you go. Okay? I'll start here. I think, is that the all-natural green? Yep, that's it. Okay. Smells good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So when you develop your flavors, I literally just think of things from my childhood. I go to bars and I intentionally read menus, and that's where I start to get my inspiration. And it's like Einstein up here. I start calculating how am I going to make that into an Italian ice. I know what goes into a tropical punch, so this is what we're doing. We're throwing it all together, going to pour it in the machine, and we call it good. With adding sugars, you don't have to fully dissolve it like she did. That's your choice if you want to, as long as you just get it wet so it pours into the machine. Pouring dry sugar to the machine, it like sticks to the throat and it can act like sandpaper and it can wear your blades down a lot faster. Not talking, it's gonna wear your blades down in a week. Italian ice makers, that's all they make, will go through blades a lot faster than ice cream makers because that sugar does act like a sandpaper. Okay, so you are good to go. We're gonna run the CB350. You're right-handed?
I am.
Okay, so you wanna get your container. So the trick with this is to don't rest it. Start with a high pour, because if it's a high pour, it's gonna be a skinnier stream that goes in here. Okay, and rule number 1, always make sure your gate's closed. I've done that many times where it's open, it just comes right back
Oh,
out.
no. Okay.
Perfect.
No mess.
No mess, you did great. Okay, so we're going to make Italian ice. So you're just going to touch the screen. You're going to hit make ice cream. You're going to find Italian ice, so more recipes,
Oh, look at that.
and start. I got to go get the mango chunks.
Oh,
Be right
right.
back.
Yes, I was going to ask about the frozen stuff.
Yeah, and the strawberries.
So who's gonna volunteer? What's her name?
My name? Monique. Monique. I am not making them. We own a gift store in Alaska, and we serve ice cream, but we want to make our own.
So this is frozen fruit. You want to just take the bag and squish it. Don't open it yet. This is frozen fruit that I've let thawed. The grocery store didn't have mangoes and strawberries, so we got mixed fruit. That's okay. We can substitute. That's the best part about Emery Thompson's is last minute changes are okay. I don't like doing dishes because I'm a mom. We all know what that's like. So we're going to use hands. We're just going to squish them up a little bit. And that's good. Yeah, it actually worked out better. Oh, let's
Yeah, these are hard.
let's get a knife here. I don't want to jab at
No, please don't.
you. There you go. Okay, and you're just going to pour them right
We'll
into
have
the
it.
machine.
Natural red dye.
I like buying them once they're both in. You'll just turn on the refrigeration.
That's messy.
I like buying frozen fruits and letting them thaw. Frozen fruits are picked at their peak season, so you know they're going to be sweet. You know they're going to be fresh. And when they thaw, they create their own natural, fresh, simple syrup that the fruits naturally did itself by thawing. Pour that right into the machine. It makes a great syrup. We're going to do that same thing with strawberries. You can buy a fresh fruits, so if you have a local farm that you want to pair with, like a blueberry patch or a peach orchard or an apple orchard or anything like that, if you get their fresh fruits, scatter them out, sprinkle them with sugar, then you're going to let them freeze, and then when you pull them out, put them into a container, let them thaw overnight or for a couple days. It's going to make this really nice, natural, sweet, simple syrup in there. Put it in the machine. Using fresh fruits also retains a lot of moisture, so putting fresh fruits into the machine, it's going to make for a very icy ice cream. It's going to make for an icy product. So what you're doing is pulling that moisture out of that fruit to make it a very nice and thick, heavy type of product when you go to eat into it. So it's literally that easy. You just made an Italian ice. Yeah. And see here, this is where the timer starts. So once you turn that on, this starts the timer, and this tells you how fast the dasher is spinning.
Okay. And how long does this kind of formula take to freeze?
She asked how long is this type of formula going to take to freeze, so we added a lot of sugar. We added 1.5 pounds of sugar, we added mango juice, we added a Sprite, and we added 2 pounds of fruit. So it's sugar, 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 and sugar. So we're probably going to push about 13 to maybe 15 minutes, depending on the consistency. Italian ices, I do like to pull a little bit thicker because it's a wet product. If you pull it too thin, it'll just be like a wet, and the sugars will already start to separate and kind of sink. So you kind of want to pull it out like I describe it. It looks like instant mashed potatoes is what it'll look like coming out. It's kind of hard to see, but we'll talk about this after the show as well. So after we're done, we'll take apart the machines and clean them. If you want to stay for that, great. If not, you're welcome to go home. But here there is a Get Help section. So you hit Get Help, and then it goes over setup, operation, how to troubleshoot. So it'll tell you how to change your springs, how to make ice cream, how to do a freeze test, how to change your blades. Do my blades need sharpening? So it's a very user-friendly type of equipment. If you go through a high turnover rate of kids, it's great. If you get stuck, you took the door apart. I'm guilty, I've done that. And I can't remember how to put it back. It takes you through a step-by-step, and it walks you through on how to actually, solve your problem. So you can hit operation, making ice cream, and it'll show you how to do that.
Can you sharpen the blades yourself?
You can't. She asked, can you sharpen the blades yourself? And it's no. So you'd have to send them in for sharpening. We have a special spec and it's set up for that. We will not give you the measurements on how to do that though. But you send them in to us and we can sharpen them one time for you. And then after that, you can replace your blades. Your blades last anywhere from 3 to 7 years. Just depends on your use.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they go through a
I
lot.
think it's like a lawnmower blade where you have to keep sending it
No.
in. I'm like, that's a long ways to go.
Yeah. That is a pump down unit that you're hearing. That's very normal. So when you get your 24 quart, you'll hear that noise. That's common. I'm not a mechanic. Maybe someone can chime in. Vicky can explain. He's back there listening. That's your cue. Oh, he's not listening.
Sending in to be sharpened, what's the
Pump
turnaround
down.
time?
Pump down unit just makes the gases run through the compressor and stay into the receiver tank.
There you go. From a mechanic. Say that again.
So the noises are almost always the compressor, right?
It's not the compressor.
That's what he was
Are you talking
saying.
about the? What was the
I
question?
thought he was saying there was a gases in the compressor.
Say it again, Mickey.
It's removing all the gases from the compressor.
There you go. So when you hear that noise, because we do get that call, you guys will panic. My compressor's shutting off and on. It's not. It's the pump down unit. It's doing what it's supposed to do. This one here, it'll have a fan that kicks on because it is air cooled. So right now it's sensing that it's not hot in here. But as it gets hotter, then you'll hear the fan kick on. It'll go and it'll just get a little bit louder. Again, don't panic. It's not the compressor shutting off and on. It's just the fan doing what it's supposed to do. So we're at 4 minutes. We're actually going to put them in these since I didn't put them in the vanilla. The turnaround time for getting your blades back is usually, we like to say 2 weeks, and the most time consuming is the shipping here and the shipping back. So sharpening process is like a day or two. By the time they get in, they go through the process and whatnot. So at least allow 2 weeks for that. Again, it's the shipping process that takes the most time. You can purchase another set and then wait for your new set to come in, use that same box, put your old set in there, ship them down to us so you're not down at all. We do have a measurement chart too that can tell you if they need to be sharpened, so you're not just wasting money shipping them in and then we're like, oh, they're still good. So you can always ask us ahead of time.
So, but you're saying it's about 7 years with daily use
7 years.
to get it before you need it to be sharpened?
Yeah, it could be 3 to 7 years. Some are in such heavy production. They have 15 of these 40 quarts just lined up on a wall. He has to have his blade sharpened every year. So every other year, he's replacing all 15 sets. Some of them only are seasonal. They have a little cafe, and they have this guy here, and they've gone 15 years because they only run it 8 hours a week. So it just depends on how heavy you use it. But again, we have a chart that you can go by to see if you do need to have them sharpened or not. I do want to talk about fruits a little bit. When you add anything into the machine, it depends on the type of product if the machine can break it down or not. Frozen fruits that are frozen, you're thinking, oh, it's going to be cold, let's just throw frozen fruits in there. Biting into a massive strawberry or blueberry is not fun. And again, it retains that moisture, so let's keep thawed products. The mangoes are a little firm, so that's why I like to squeeze the bag first. Strawberries are the same exact way, they're very firm. So if it's a firmer type of fruit like mangoes or strawberries or even blueberries, it's good to kind of squish the bag or mash them with the masher if they're in a tub, or put them in a blender and kind of pulse it so the machine doesn't have a hard time of breaking them down and your customers are not getting this huge, blueberry. Raspberries and blackberries, those break down pretty good because it's a softer fruit. Anything that's really heavy and dense, like cookies. Cookies do a great job breaking down. It'll pulverize and you'll almost have nothing left. So you'll have a cookies and cream ice cream where it comes out gray looking because it's that black cookie mixing with the white milk and it's making that gray color. So if you want more added chunks, you can throw some more in, by hand. Anything that's light and airy like a pie crust, apple pie, those stay more suspended so they're not going to fully, completely break down. We're at 7.5. Did someone... The directions are on the bottle, so it'll tell you how much is on there, how much to use.
And then would the outcome of the product be different than when we're in the cool off?
Yes.
Thicker?
It'll be stretchier once it's frozen. It'll be more solid looking. I don't know how to describe it. It'll be more dense and it won't have as, you'd have to see it. You would know. My kid knows the difference between a stabilizer and one that's fresh. She'll spot it a mile away and be like, that has stabilizer. That's the stabilizer. So the gummy and it'll be stretchy and then it'll sit there for an hour and not melt. It'll help with scooping. Stan, like I said, is an all natural, so he's a good choice, but that's the 16 ounces per 20 quarts. So per 20 quart batch, it's the 16 ounces. So we're gonna do a cutoff check. Let's get you a big pan though. Well, okay, it's gonna come out a lot faster than you think.
Okay.
So don't put pressure on this, just up and down, and then just like boop, boop. Don't open it and then close it.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, ready?
Yep. Very good. Comes out a lot faster.
Yeah.
So this is kind of splatting in the pan. We don't want that. We want it to kind of more peak, but as you see, it's a pretty color.
It's a pretty color.
It's a pretty color and it smells good. What is your favorite holiday dessert?
Oh, red velvet cake.
Red velvet cake. So that one's pretty easy to do. So if I was to make a red velvet ice cream cake, I would buy a red velvet cake. I would buy a jar of frosting. And if I'm doing the CB350, and then I would probably do some walnuts as a crunch into it. So I'd put all that into the machine, put that jar of frosting, and then put some walnuts in there, and you have a red velvet cake ice cream.
With the vanilla base?
With the vanilla base. What's your favorite go-to out with the girls drink?
Probably margarita.
I've done that. I've done that. So I've done it a couple different ways. I've used a pre-made margarita mix. Awful. Don't do that. It was terrible. I have done a sweet and sour mix and then some lime juice and then throwing in the tequila. Tasted just like a margarita. Working with alcohols, I don't like vodka. It has no flavor, and the whole purpose of having a boozy flavor is to want to taste that boozy flavor. Vodka's tasteless. It does nothing. Unless you're making like a Long Island. Don't make that unless you want to have your customers turn the keys in, because that one's pretty high. That's about the only time I've used vodka unless it's flavored, like a whipped cream. So like a boozy creamsicle, so it's dairy mix and orange juice to make like the, the ones that we used to eat out of the cardboard, the toilet paper tubes. Yeah, those. It tastes like that, but it's boozy. It's got a whipped cream taste to it. So it's easy as that when you're developing any type of your flavors. Think of what your mom used to make. What's local to you? Do you have a blueberry farm? Again, do you have anybody local? A chocolate shop? Do you have a bakery? Do you have a pastry? Anybody that's near you, pair with them. They got some scones left over at the end of the day that didn't sell. Let's throw it into the machine. Let's make an apple turnover ice cream. Let's throw some more apples in there. It's a no waste machine. So if you're currently doing something else, let's throw it in there and make it ice cream. If you've got someone down the street from you and you want to pair and be supportive, put your name out there at a market, throw it in the machine. Let's do it.
Have you ever made a black licorice ice cream?
A black licorice
I had
ice
somebody
cream.
request that. The guy actually from the dairy, the one and only dairy that I have available to me. He asked.
No.
We'll be left with a lot of that.
I won't make like it to sell, but he asked me to make him some when we get to that point. You've never done that?
No,
Okay.
I don't think I'd want to.
I was very shocked too, but
So we're pushing 13 or 12 minutes.
okay.
If you want to give it another cut again. Oop, that was a lot.
Okay, sorry.
Yep, that's okay. That's got some liquid left from before, but you can see it's a lot more of a firmer peak now. But we'll let it go probably until about 14 minutes and then we'll pull it. But we'll put it in these containers so we can give it out to customers that come by. Any questions? We got a minute.
Monique, what else are you making? With black licorice?
Oh, that's just if I can find. I told him I don't know about that one. I'll have to find a recipe. But we're gonna make things like caramel caribou, moose tracks, blueberry probably because we have a lot of wild blueberries in our area. I don't know what else. We'll
Perfect titles.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we'll come up with some other ones. We're just gonna have to play with it and see what recipes are already out there, and then start playing, get comfortable with it, and then make our own.
Yeah.
We'll see.
When blueberries, fresh blueberries, they have a hard shell. So what I would do is I would mash them
Okay.
and then sprinkle them with sugar just so the sugar can penetrate.
Okay.
Because if you put sugar on a hard shell blueberry,
Yeah,
it's not going to
and let them
penetrate.
sit for a bit. Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Thank you.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I'm going to swap you out here.
Okay.
So what you're going to do, we'll call that our trash pan, is you're going to shut this off. You're going to hold it here, and then you're just going to fill the container, and then I'll hand you a new one, okay?
Okay.
So just turn that off. Close. Woo. So good.
Yeah, I'm overfilling, aren't I?
That's okay. Practice makes perfect. We're learning mode today.
That's right.
See? Third time's the charm. You did great. I might need to get you another one though.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot more in there.
That's the white things are the blades, and then the dasher is the stainless steel part to it.
She's slowing down now.
What I would do,
Empty it.
okay,
Yeah.
yep, and then close it, hit stop, and just leave it open. There you go.
All right.
Great. Now you got to scoop all these cups.
Okay.
Put you to work.
Yep. I'm used to it.
Also, I noticed she's using the paddle. Sometimes Italian ice shops can also use the food prep scoops.
Well, that's mine.
The food prep scoops.
It looks like an ice cream scooper, but it has the
Ah.
dislodge. You know.
I'm glad you brought that up. I just dropped that. So, here we are. Okay, this is a spade. This is a gelato spade. This is what a lot of gelato people use. It's very dense, and you'll see them, scoop it up, and they just do it like this, and they put it on the cone. I like to have one of these on hand because when your ice cream maker or your scoopers are scooping ice cream, they can't get the edges and the sides and walls of the ice cream perfectly. It's going to leave like a lot. So you do spot checks throughout the day. You just take it, and this is perfect. And it goes on the side of the tub, and it pushes all that ice cream down. So you can get another, 4 or 5 servings, and it looks a lot cleaner and a lot nicer. This is just a spade. I don't like it. Don't buy this. These are famous. This is a zero. Well, this one isn't, but this is what they look like. They have a liquid that you can hear. This liquid is what keeps it to make that really pretty scoop that you see, and you scoop it like this, and it curls, and it makes that beautiful scoop. This is what you want. And you're going to need a dipping well or some type of washing machine thingy for this. I don't know what they call them. It's like a little spot. You push it down, and it's like a shower. That's what it is, scoop shower, not washing machine. And then you wash the scoop with it. If you leave this in your ice cream cabinets, because some people just don't want to deal with a dipping well or a washing station, please do. If you put this in and have a scoop for each of your flavors, this liquid's not doing what it's supposed to. And your ice cream will be very stretchy. It'll be very hard.
It will
And
also stick to that scoop.
it'll stick, exactly. So making sure that you have a dipping well for it. I don't like the levers. Those break very, very fast because you scoop a lot of product with those. And then it's going to give a little carpal tunnel. It's not going to be fun for your scoopers. And we work with this kid's generation, right? Yeah, they're going to complain. And then it just doesn't, you can't get that real pretty scoop, and you just have to do one and then click it off. One, click it off, when you can just keep doing this into your bucket. So it's just more consistent to stick with these.
Could you teach me how to do something with that, what did you just call it, the spade? Because I've seen some shops, they like create a flour with it. But
Oh.
it has to be a thicker consistency than that, or more frozen temperature than
It would
that.
just be picking it up and just smushing it and just putting it on the cone if you want to use it that way. But ice cream, you'd have to have it at a much warmer temperature than it would be if you were scooping it. Gelato is about the same serving temp as Italian ice. So ice cream's around 6 to 8.
Well, that's Italian though, right?
Correct. So if you want to do like a flour with that, I've never personally done it. I've done multicolors, but not a flour because I've always just used a scoop.
What do you mean do a flour?
It's like you take the paddle and, or the spade, and at the very top of the cup around the edges,
Oh,
you do,
got
and
it.
it just kind of,
Okay, okay.
it looks good at
It
wet.
might be
Yeah.
similar to how they do it with toppings and fondants in bake shops. I could try.
There you go, networking. We also do have this new Facebook group that Landon just created and launched, and it's for all the Make It Fresh attendees. So after the seminar is over, Landon will send you over the link so you guys can join and start communicating. You guys will be the first ones in the group. So you guys can talk, well, I think there's other ones in the group. I lied, sorry about that. But you guys can talk with each other. Well, the first ones in the seminar to be told about it. How about that? And you guys can network with each other and just stay in touch and then see how everybody's doing.
One thing with that spade is if you do espresso, you can use that with gelato, which is warmer, and scoop the edge and get that really cool
You did good.
shape out of
Okay,
cold
thank you.
espresso.
Yeah, I'll just take the 2 for the back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like would be cool, like an espresso shop. But like all the Italian shops that do gelato and
I'll take all
espresso, they'll
this.
scrape the sides and make kind of like a little color for the espresso that people are telling you. And that little spade is what you want. But you want it to be and that's how you do it. You try to make it, something like that, or go on top of it.
Good job. Perfect Italian ice.
You're very welcome. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
of course. Enjoy.
Oh, that's good.
Did you throw stabilizer in this one?
Do you ship from your shop?
We'll ship the Alaskan items that we sell, but not the
That's
ice
good
cream.
stuff.
Yeah, yep.
To get that name of that.
Okay. All right. Here you go, guys. Sorry to make you reach back.
Thank you.
Oops, I forgot a spoon in one.
Thank you.
Of course.
Is that the
I
leftovers?
need one more spoon.
Oh,
I forgot one.
I'll get it. It's okay. I just hand it to one of the girls. Here you go. Can you pass these out? Tropical punch. Got it? Okay. Don't forget Remy and then just put one on Slade's desk. Oh, I need my tray back too. Yeah. tell everyone good job to Monique, right? I got it. So any questions while we eat? And I figured we could take a little break real quick, about 15 minutes. No? Okay. Don't everybody shout once.
We did good.
You did very good.
If anyone's interested, I like peer-to-peer learning because I have adult ADHD. So if you want to take one of my cards and I can stay in touch with you, I would love that.
Absolutely. Where are you from again? Fort
St.
Myers?
Petersburg.
St. Pete.
Yeah, right across the bridge. We're going around that way. Thanks.
Where's your shop?
We don't have this workout right now. We're freaking mobile.
Oh,
Did you get one?
I did.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Did you say you're mobile? You're mobile? Yeah. Do you have a truck or do you have a...
This is a little example. You can kind of see here how it got real dark here. This is a pumpkin sorbet. This is drunken pumpkin. So it's got, yeah, right? You can see it here. This type of flavor, in about 3-4 days, it'll be real thick and dark because we didn't use a stabilizer.
so is that the sugars that are getting at the bottom?
Sugar's heavy, so it's sinking, and then the watered product types are just sinking or going to the top.
So if you see that on store shelves, you wouldn't want to buy that then, right?
Those have a stabilizer, but if that happened, then it's thawed at some point and then refroze. Yeah.
We have horrible wholesalers out there selling to us retail
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
So I was busy mixing and stuff when you were talking about the stabilizer. So that, do you recommend using it?
I don't, unless you are having to use it like events or you're going to be bulking up your product. I would recommend it because you're going to need it for it to last that long. Or if you just have terrible scooping consistency issues, then you can use a stabilizer. But there's thousands that don't. They just do natural and fresh, but they push their product. That's all they do. They have like mobile carts or something like that.
So that product that you recommended for me, because I don't have a dairy in my state at all. You see, Alaska says there
Yeah.
isn't any.
The Itaberico.
Iberico, yes.
Yes.
So is that a stabilizer?
It has a stabilizer in it, in the powder, but that's for sorbet. They have a sorbet mix, and then they have a
They have a
gelato powder.
And they have an ice cream one too.
They're working on that,
Okay.
but I don't think it's a hard ice
You
cream one yet.
recommended the gelato one. but-
Yes, I love that one. We'll talk about that too.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
because I
Thank you, Cynthia.
don't know what to do, because I don't have a dairy.
I'll get it. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna clean up while everybody takes a little 10-minute break here for the strawberry. Yep, apron and mic. Yep. We do, but I just started the. Well, they haven't been here, so you're the first one to put a pin from Alaska. Woo woo. Where at in Alaska?
I'm in the interior. I live.
How far from Eng?
North Pole, but from Fairbanks, the store is about 35 miles from Fairbanks. We're on there are 4 roads in Alaska, 4 main roads, race, and we're on the one that comes from the Alaska Highway, Canada. So most people drive right by us as they're coming into the state. So it's very popular, so we're very busy with ice cream cooking, and so we have 5 teenagers that we hire.
Don't squeeze too hard. You might pop the bag. I just look for feel the other ones. There you go.
I would make a mess if you popped that.
So I have made a strawberry ice cream with just using strawberries that have thawed and then that simple syrup. To me, that's not strawberry-y enough, if that's a word. So I like to add a little bit of Torani syrup to it. Torani syrup will be your best friend in ice cream. There's also another brand called Monin. Terani's has an amazing array of flavors to choose from tiramisu to chocolate chip cookie dough to lavender. You can't throw chocolate chips and cookie dough in the machine and think it's going to taste like chocolate chip cookie dough, because it's not. You're going to need some help with it. There's a website that I use. It's called baristaunderground.com. It used to be Serious Sips, which you can still type in SeriousSips.com, but it'll revert you to their new name. They have SeriousSips.com, and it's a new name. I think it's Barista Underground. It's the same company, but it's where I go if I'm going to buy a big bulk of Terani syrups, because they're like $7 a bottle there. That's a really cheap price. It's a really good deal. And in a pinch, I've ordered off of Amazon too. If you're looking for just a last-minute flavor, you can find them almost anywhere. We all know Terani's, yes? Awesome, perfect. Okay, we are going to run this on a super premium setting. So remember, choke and smack. That's right. Well, you got to take the cap off. Okay. Rule 1, always make sure your gate's closed. As you pour, you're going to want to release your choke a little. There you go.
You're missing audio again.
Oh, on him?
Correct.
Okay.
So just to be clear, we could do all the products on any other machine.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're just splitting them up, doing 3 on this one and 3 on this one.
One question.
Yes.
You didn't have to clean the machine to go from vanilla to strawberry.
As long as you start with a light flavor and work your way down, you don't need to rinse. So we're doing vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. I can keep going. I can do vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, coffee, coffee toffee, butter pecan, and I can keep going without having to rinse in between. If you are working with allergens of any kind, I just always recommend do that for your very, very, very last flavor of the day. Any type of nuts, and even dairy-free products, do those the first thing of the day. So when I was at NAFM, it was a trade show, we scooped 4,500 servings in one day. And out of all of that, those people, about 20 of them asked, do you have dairy-free options? And I said, yes, I have my Italian ice and my sorbet. And I said, but it was made on a machine that also had dairy. All of those people said, that's fine. It was just a choice for them. One said, I better not take the chance. So out of 4,500, there was one. So always do your non-dairy flavors the very first of the day. You know you've stripped it down the night before. You know it's super clean. You know it's sanitized. You know she's good to go. Do your dairy-free and then move to your dairy. Same thing with your nuts. Do your nuts the very last, because cross-contamination is a thing. I think coconut's the only non-nut that's on the allergen list. I know strawberries can be for some. Nobody has allergies, right? Okay, good. Strawberries can be. I think that's kind of getting a little to the weeds on that one. You just have a sign like we talked about, like the egg and the stuff. It does have, allergens. If you work with toppings, being a kid who has a walnut allergy, not peanuts, but walnuts, being a kid that does have a nut allergy, I would choose to not have nuts at my store, but in already prepackaged containers like souffles with a little lid. So if they do ask for peanuts, I can go, here you go, and charge them an extra $1 for it. That's just my choice, because nuts are a very big allergy and I don't want anybody going to like an anaphylactic shock. My daughter won't. She just swells up very bad, and I laugh at her because she looks like a snapping turtle. But it's happened. It's cross-contaminated, and I've like, hey, do you have walnuts in it? And they say no, and then she eats it, and sure enough, she starts like, and it's like swelling and everything. So it is a thing. Okay, we are going to make super premium, where we're going to get the dasher started. So you're going to find super premium, make ice cream, and start. Remember, we've got plenty of time to play. We can have as much fun and be creative as we want until we hit the play button. This one. Well, you got to add your stuff.
Okay.
Why did you choose super premium instead of ice?
Because I want to make it super premium. Why not? It's my ice cream.
Okay, I'm just wondering if there's
Push the back.
another reason.
Push the back. Yep. Push it up. Yep. There you go. Yep. So we're just going to dump that whole bag right in there. just in case you need it. I was gonna say typical man. Just use. Beautiful. So we're gonna say about a half a bottle. So we're just gonna use the rest of that syrup. I would just dump. Yep, I would just dump that in there. This is also what you can do as the ice cream maker to make sure your flavor's on point. I do this all the time at my home. I do it when I'm here. Do I like it? Do I need to add a little more? Remember, we've got plenty of play time before we hit the play button to start. So what you're gonna do, it's spitting at me. You're not gonna go back with your spoon.
Straight.
Nope, you're just gonna do this. Like so.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
You think it's good?
Yeah,
Do you-
maybe
do
a
you-
little bit more syrup.
Okay, it's your ice cream.
So if you want to say, since this is ice cream, sugar-free, that's real strawberry, could you use a Monin syrup, sugar-free, and then say no sugar added?
You can say it's a no sugar added. There is extra sugar in the dairy mix that is added, but you can still say it's no sugar added from you. You know, you still say, well, I didn't add any extra sugars.
That the dairy mix contains blah, 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 no sugar added strawberry
Sure.
flavored ice cream.
That's exactly it. What I have learned, if you want to give her another taste
Yeah,
test,
sounds good.
what I've
You also,
learned,
or?
go for it. It's your ice cream. What I've learned is those that need something sugar-free or whichever is they'll ask for the sugar-free products, and then what do? They go to the toppings bar and load it up with sugar. So it just defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
Then you're ready to hit play.
right here, right?
Yep, push. Yep. That's it.
That little timer, what is it supposed to
Russell, right?
Did the timer tell you a certain amount of minutes there?
It's going from like seconds up, so
Yes, once you hit start, once you turn on the refrigeration, the timer starts. So it's at like 4 seconds right now.
21.
21 seconds, 22, 23
23.
You
seconds.
don't get to preset and say stop at 4.
It's already preset, right?
So that it's not already set, so that's a good question. You can't set the timer to stop when you're ready, because again, every flavor is different. Every freeze time is going to be different. So you can't go strawberry and then say, oh, I know my strawberry takes 14 minutes, you plug 14 minutes. Nothing is ever consistent. That bag of frozen strawberry is going to be different today than it's going to be in 2 months from now. It's going to be much more consistent than buying fresh, but the science and the brick sugars behind it, it's not going to be the same.
But we have recipes. Have you all ever considered putting a timer on there? Like every oven and every range oven in every household.
But my oven's not-
Company doesn't know what you're cooking, but they put a timer here for us to set our own timer.
You can buy an extra.
So,
And adding it.
so there's so many variances. Okay, an example: a water cooled versus an air cooled. An air cooled. What if it's really hot in your area? You plug this for 12 minutes, and then you go freeze it down. It's not done in 12 minutes. It needs 16. That's because it's so hot in your area. It's taking longer to freeze. So there's too many variances. Elevation. If you're way up in the mountains, that's a different type of freeze time. We're at sea level. That really doesn't make any type of freeze time difference. Ambient temperature in the room does. There's just too many variances. The Oreo here in Florida might be a different type of Oreo in Alaska. Sugars can be absolutely different from each other. It's just too great of a difference. But again, that's the biggest beauty of Emery Thompson's is you can go anywhere in the world and go get what you need to make product. During the pandemic, we had the biggest boom we've ever seen, and we've survived everything. 2 world wars, Vietnam, a pandemic, the Great Dust Bowl, the Great Depression, Prohibition, we've seen everything. people's supplies and everything was going short. So everybody that was buying product, they couldn't get their butter pecan, they couldn't get their salted caramel, they couldn't make their cookies and cream. Well, it didn't matter what was happening during the pandemic, right? You can go to 7 gas stations, you're gonna find Oreos. Whether you had to go to 7 gas stations, but you're gonna find your Oreos that you need. In a whim, I wanted to use strawberries and mangoes in my last one. They didn't have it, all right, let's change it. Let's get the mixed fruit one, that's okay. So we cut out a middleman. You still need them, but you don't have to if something should ever happen, because you're the chef, you're the creation. Sorry. You can hear that water. That's the water coming out. If you wanted, you can get up and take a peek and see how little of a stream it is coming out, just so you are aware of what it looks like in your shop. It's enough like how I say when you brush your teeth, but not enough to wash your hands with. So it's.
Is that your input right there?
Yes, so this is the supply. The black one is the supply and the red is the drain.
Just a spigot.
Yep. And we provide the hoses for you up to 6 foot, but you can have them 100 feet away. It can go up a wall, it can go around a corner. It doesn't matter as long as there's no kinks. The air cooled, you just need at least a foot of space around the machine for proper airflow so it can breathe. Other than that, it's fine. It doesn't need water or anything. This is an optional stand, which you can purchase to go with the machine. It also comes with the hardware to bolt the machine to the stand if you want. You can also mount it in a food truck or a trailer if you choose to do that as well. It does weigh up to 300 pounds, so whatever you do put it on, just be sure it can support that weight. Another thing I will tell you too, I'm 5'4", I'm very short. I can just see into this machine. So wherever you do decide to put this, just be sure it's on a low enough counter so you can see into the machine. Sometimes it's happened, or a lot of times it'll be put up on a high counter and they're not realizing now they can't see it. And I have done that at a trade show. I've done a live demo and they put it up high and I'm just like, oh, I hope that went in. Like, you know, I'm dipping it in and I would shout at Mickey, who was with me, I'm like, can you just peek and see if it went in real fast? So just be sure it's low enough for that.
You mentioned ambient temperature. Is there a best or preferred ambient temperature to run?
There's not a preferred. So we are UL listed, and for that they put these in extremely hot conditions in like a room of 110 degrees, and they run it for 7 hours, 12 hours, something like that, just so we can be UL approved. Colder the better. You know, one guy runs his in a freezer. So it's his choice. During the summer, it gets really hot, so he decided to run it in the freezer. So it runs, it works.
So the RPMs, you're at 165. You can manually change that.
Yep.
So you keep it regularly about 165, or do you hire it up for finer things, or to change the texture?
He noticed the up and down on the touchscreen, which during the end of the day, we'll talk about that up close if you'd like to. So this is a manual speed up and down. So even though I hit start, I still have the ability to control the RPMs. So I can speed it up if I want to, or I can still slow it down. I can do it in the middle of it making product if I want. It's not going to affect anything really. We're so far into it. If I did adjust it to whichever, it's probably not going to make a minute difference to it. If I'm running on homemade, the fast setting, sometimes I'll slow it way down if I'm filling small containers so it's not hauling butt coming out at me. But you also have a manual setting that you can choose, but it doesn't matter. You can pick any of them, hit start, and then just start playing with it.
So that also determines the speed at which the ice cream will come out.
Yes, how fast and slow. So this one won't come out as fast as it did on the homemade. Let me move this. Let's do a little cutoff check here. You put it up here.
Okay.
I'll take it. It's my trash pan.
All right.
So it's going to come out a lot faster than you think. So just boop, boop. Whoa. Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough, right? So let's see if we have enough room. We'll just leave it. It's okay.
You don't want me? You want me to dump
No.
it back in?
No, we're all right. We'll let it run. So as you saw, like I said, remember I said it.
Sorry.
It's gonna cut. No, you're fine. We're in learning mode. It comes out a lot faster. So that's how you do your consistency cutoff check. We're going at 8 minutes, but we added 4 pounds of strawberries and we added a bottle, probably a little over half a bottle of syrup, which is a sugar. So we've got heavy sugars in there, so it's going to take a little bit longer to freeze. We'll watch. Good question. So she asked, can I add chocolate chips if I wanted to right now? In the 24 quart, you absolutely can. The 24 quart has a lot of playroom. So you can see in here, there's still quite a bit of room. And not enough to add all that back, but if I wanted to add chocolate chips or some cookies in there, I certainly could. The CB350, it's very small. It's a tight cylinder, so there's not a whole lot of playroom in there. So once you've got everything in there and you hit, your refrigeration or your start button, it's game over. You got maybe 30 seconds, a minute to start adding the rest of your stuff because it's going to already expand to freeze. If you don't want something broken up so much, you can add it last minute as well. An example, Oreos. I'm going to put 3 whole packages of Oreos, the family size one, right off the bat. I want that ice cream mix to break up those cookies, and I want it to be a bite of cookies and cream. But it's going to pulverize them for the most part. There might be a piece here or there. So instead of tossing them in by hand, I'll wait right before, about a minute before I pull it. I'm going to add another package, and it's going to break it down pretty good, but it's not going to pulverize them, so it's going to have even chunks coming out.
If you were tossing it in your hand, you're cooling down into your bucket, you're putting it in the mix, or
So she asked the process on how to add the inclusions. So that's the word we use, inclusions, as you extract it. So what I do is I just have it opened partially. I don't open it all the way. I have my container of crushed cookies, and as it's coming out, I just sit here and toss it, and I have a spatula and I spread. It's a practice, you'll learn. 2 people right off the bat is going to be the best method until you find your rhythm. But it's that easy. It's not anything complex to it. I don't like folding. It just makes it messy. And then just tossing it as it's coming out and just kind of smushing and flattening out the product will get it a nice even spread throughout.
What's the recommended time for it? How long will the ice cream last in the freezer?
She asked, how long will the ice cream last in the freezer? Forever. What was that, Sandlot?
Still, yeah, scoop, look, and taste yummy.
It'll last a long time. I wouldn't recommend probably past 6 months or so. That's just because air is ice cream's worst enemy, and it's eventually going to find its way in there. Ice cream mix does contain stabilizers, so it does have a stabilized product to it, so you don't have to worry about that part of it. Some people line it with parchment paper on top if they know they're going to keep it in there for a long time. Opening and closing lids and stuff is not a good friend. And then I'm going to grab one of these. For anything that's to go, like ice cream quarts or pints or containers like this, always freeze them upside down. So if you've ever been to a store and you open up a Ben & Jerry and you peel it and it's stuck to the ice cream, they still do this process. So if you look at their assembly line, all of them are going down it like this because the ice cream is touching the lid and it's creating its natural seal. So you don't have to worry about getting parchment paper, a lid sealer, or anything like that. Just be sure you do fill it up pretty good because you don't want air pockets. All right. So,
A quick one this time.
quick one. Boop, boop. I like it, so I would turn off the refrigeration and that's the condensing and it getting cold. Okay. Ready? And you just go back and forth. Perfect. And then just put it over there.
So if you wanted that to be strawberry banana, when would you have to put in the banana?
Right away. I like to slide them suckers whole in there. It's a lot of fun. The machine breaks it down really well. So that noise, so Old Reliable here, we ship this off to a lot of trainings that we do, and no, you wouldn't need, you wouldn't. That's a technician thing.
Okay, because they have, they're the service people technicians, or
Say that again?
are they the service people technicians?
Yep.
How often are your machines being serviced?
Hardly ever. So they learn it, but then they're just going to forget it. You can go back to recording. You can go back to editing it.
Are there any more replaceable parts or parts that we would send over for
You can hit stop.
routine
Hit stop.
Oh,
I'll get your second one.
maintenance?
Yep.
Like a blade, any other?
So I would pull that out.
Do that with?
Yep. And then I would take one pan over there and scoop up your customers.
Is it open or?
Yeah, I'll leave it open. Very good. So maintenance parts, the only maintenance that we require are just your springs and the O-rings, which we'll talk about when we go to break down the machine after. If you're here for that, you can see those parts as well. We suggest that you keep them on the same schedule so you know if you change the springs, it's time to change your O-rings. That's it. Everything else is just if it wears. Like the only other thing would be the front cover gasket, which we'll talk about afterwards. And then all of this is stainless. We have zero plastic whatsoever. This over time will get loose and just kind of droop down. So when you notice that getting loose, that would probably be about it. But it'll take you like 10 years before you get that far.
When you're adding cookie dough, little cookie dough balls, where do you get those from? Do you make your own? Do you have a recipe? What's your suggestion?
I would buy them already in bulk. They're little hard balls. Those are more machine friendly. Using fresh cookie dough that is edible, I've done that, but it winds up finding each other in the machine and it like sticks, makes a big wad. That marshmallows completely disintegrate. They also don't freeze. So if you freeze a marshmallow and thinking it'll hold it, it's still the marshmallow when you pull it out of the freezer.
You have the little tiny mini ones?
Those are the hot chocolate ones.
Cooked for like a rocky road.
Those, yeah, they don't freeze. They don't freeze. They might get a little firm, but they don't freeze. But if you put fresh marshmallows right into the machine, they disappear. So save those at the end to hand toss in. And pickles, they do nothing. They just go for, hey now, I made dill pickle Italian ice. That was really good. It was very good. That's a YouTube video. It's dill pickle Italian ice with the bacon strip. It's very, very, very good. Have you guys ever heard of a pickle pop? It's where you take the pickle juice, like schools have it, skating rinks. What do you call those?
Like an old school popsicle.
Yeah, and what are those when you concession stands? There you go. So they have the pickle juice left over and they pour it in a little cup and they put a lid and they sell it to the kids for like 25 cents. Yeah, so that's where that came from. It's also a big flavor in Texas. Dill pickle Italian ices. Make it. You'd be very surprised. Put a sign out there. Only make a little container, dill pickle Italian ice. And I'm going to come in because I'm going to see what that is. I'm going to get a sample of it. I'm not going to order a cup. I'm going to get my vanilla, but at least it got someone in the door. It's fun. You can be creative like that. But anyways, the pickle spears, they just went for a ride. They didn't break down, so I had to pulse them first and then put them in.
Interesting.
Oh, you're using that scoop. I'm sorry.
Good. I'm almost done now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Could you go over?
Russell, I'll just have just like a teeny tiny when you get to one, just one.
Okay.
Do you mind just going over the machine and the capacity again?
Yeah. I will do
Okay.
this for you.
Perfect, thank you.
I'll do one better. Oh. I'm not doing this very well, am I? Nope, these stuck together. There we go. Here we go. Perfect. So that one makes 4 tubs. So this right here is a good visual perspective of how much each machine will make. This will make 5 gallons, so it'll make 2 of these. This does 1.5 gallons, which this is 4 quarts, and I think this is 2. So this will make 1.5 gallons. This one only does 3 quarts, so it doesn't even make a full gallon. And then that one does 11 gallons of finished product. If you want to take a photo, I'll move.
And so the one on the left, that's the 24 quart.
Yes, this is the 24 quart. And the CB350, CB200, and the 44.
Which one sells the most?
I'm going to say CB350 because it's affordable. It can get you started at a low cost. not everybody has the overhead to purchase a larger one. You know, you got to save it for cups, spoons, signage, permits, license, that kind of thing. If you have the ability and the capital to do this, I really suggest it. This cuts your production down by 2/3. So this does quadruple what that does. So that just really is less time consuming. This gives you the ability to open up doors you didn't have before. You know, you can start catering. I'll get the two guys real quick.
Oh, good job.
I gotta taste his.
It's really good.
Oh wow, you got good. Mm-hmm.
What's that ice cream shop where they turn it upside down just for you to see the thickness?
Don't do it.
No, I'm just so tempted because it does look like the consistency I would like in an ice cream.
Sorry.
So doing the 24 quart, like I was saying, it opens up a lot of doors for you that you didn't have, that you probably weren't able to do with the CB350, being that it's such a smaller capacity. I have learned from speaking to so many of you guys that once you start making your own ice cream, you guys are stressing out because you're calling me and needing a larger one because you've got so many people reaching out to you now that want to start having you make product for them. Restaurants, mom and pop grocery stores, you know, cafes, pizzerias, all those kinds of things. So, well, great job. After lunch.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the liners
There you
have
go.
Here.
those
Yeah, these are lids
Oh.
already.
Say that again?
The liners have the little snap-on lids.
Yeah, so the actual hard pans, which are these metal ones here, in your display case, it'll have this. So this is what it'll look like. But yes, they have the little lids. I despise these other than giving them away. So,
Knife here.
yeah, here.
Okay. This freezer over here.
Yep. Very good, very good. Okay, any questions before we start the next flavor? Well, we'll be here. I'll be here all day.
Me too.
Okay.
Just leave this on now.
Yeah. Anything with waffle cones. So waffle cones do get mush. So there is a company called the Ice Cream Factory. They sell type of inclusions that keep their texture, and they are pretty much all natural. So they have like a ooey gooey butter cake. They have a birthday cake type of kind, and they don't freeze solid. They also have like a chocolate chip cookie dough, I believe, that doesn't freeze solid. I'm not positive about chips, but I would check with them. But waffle chips, they're gonna get soggy in my ice cream.
So going back to the cookie dough balls, would you put them in frozen?
No, they don't come frozen. They're just normal. It's just like it's like a almost not. It's not a candy. It's a dough, but it's not refrigerated. Just dump it in here.
So do you just mix it in as it's coming, as you're feeling your pain?
I put it in the machine.
No, the cookie dough balls.
I put it in the machine. It's a light and airy type of product. It's not going to completely pulverize and break down. Some of it might, but not enough to be significant to where you're going to be missing your cookie dough pieces.
And those don't have to stay consistent. Like you don't mind if it's like chips and broken pieces and all that and everything.
I don't.
But are you trying to have your little marshmallows, keep your marshmallow shape?
Yeah, so in a traditional Rocky Road,
You see the little marshmallow. So they're just mixing it in,
Some
what,
do
at
like
serving?
a marshmallow, kind of, yeah, cream.
The liquid cream, well, not liquid, but.
Yeah,
like
it's
cream
marshmallow,
dish.
yeah. But some like the little marshmallows. They
I'm voluntolding you. You're going to be my next one.
I can't do it.
You're going to be boozy with
I don't
me.
let him in my kitchen.
You want to do booze? Okay. Are you ready?
I'm not allowed.
So you could put booze and ice cream
Oh, yeah.
and sell it
Yes.
without having a liquor license?
In Florida, yes. So as long as you stay under a certain percent ABV,
Okay.
your apron and mic are over there. If you want, I don't, but they're there in case you do. So as long as you stay under a certain ABV in the state of Florida, you don't need to have a liquor license. It's kind of like bakers make a rum cake. They add rum. They don't need a liquor license for that either. If I was to take this ice cream and turn it into a milkshake and put a straw in it, now I need a liquor license because now you guys are drinking it versus eating it. So there is a difference. Every state is different, so check with your local laws to see if that is something that you can do. Again, if you find a health inspector at the health department, because that's going to be your best friend, stick with that person. For whatever the love of life you have, stay with that person. The next one's going to tell you something different, and the next one's going to tell you something else different. So stay with that same person and health inspector. If they want to question about the alcohol that's being added, just say, well, what's the law? What's the limit? And you can say, bakers make rum cakes. Why do they not need a liquor license? Oh, well, the alcohol bakes off. Does it? Have you tested it? It's the same thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I've never gotten drunk off of ice cream, ever. I can eat a whole quart and I'm not getting drunk. Well, I probably have a high tolerance, but whatever. That's besides the point.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not going to talk about that right now. You can add alcohols to a lot of different types of products. It can be sorbets, it can be Italian ices, it can be a gelato, it could be a custard, it can be ice cream. Anything you want to dump in it, go for it. Sarah was saying this one should be alcohol in it. Well, okay. So we got some coffee liqueur off there, and so that'll be whoever makes that one. So we got 2 boozies coming up. You can add the coffee, and we'll do that little taste test too. That's your formula. Oh, right here.
Oh, sorry.
I'll give you one so that way.
Ooh, Prosecco.
I had the Prosecco opened already because I didn't want to go pop kabang in front of you
I don't
guys.
get the pop bottles.
That's the best part.
I know, right?
Besides eating it.
I'm going to get the blackberries and the can opener, but see that big clear container?
Yes.
And then this one's for sugar. I was washing a lot of stuff. We can use this one actually.
So these are NSF safe? Like,
I'm sure. I don't remember where they're from. Okay. And then your recipe for how much sugar you'll need. And I'll be right back.
Quarts here. 2 pounds of sugar. Are we eyeballing this? That's 10. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I heard her beeping it over there to calibrate it. So I'm gonna need both of these. Yeah, thanks.
All right. So this is exactly what I did do. I went to 2 stores, nobody had frozen blackberries. And I didn't want to substitute it for mixed berries. So I bought fresh blackberries, I sprinkled them with sugar, I mashed them and let them sit for a couple days, and this is what it is. It's beautiful.
Is it 2 pounds? Yes. I know how sugar grains go, so I'm stopping at 1.98.
That's perfect. So I would add this before the sugar, just so you can measure it out.
3 quarts.
I don't know if these are chunky or crushed. We will find out. So fun tip, always keep your container this way because you can watch it as you're pouring. Yeah. If it's this way, you're going to be bent over trying to look for it. This is grapefruit. feel like I should pulse this a little bit. Oh, it is on.
You guys you think that's 3? It has to be a little bit between, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
3 in the corner. This is 750 mils, right?
Yes.
So convert, that's the whole bottle, right?
Probably. I would just pour it up till it hits the floor. It might foam on you.
Class math.
Okay.
Oh, you ready for the sugar then?
No.
Okay.
You're good. It's always good to measure liquid before sugar so you have the right amount of volumes.
And then, those were chunks?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it gonna feel pulpy? It won't be pulp by then, right?
We'll find out.
Okay.
It's my first time making this one. Wanted to do something different, and the blackberries was Landon's idea, actually, because we were stumped on what can we add with a ruby red grapefruit. So he suggested blackberries, and it sounded really good.
It's gonna be sweet.
So the machine needs something to freeze.
Should I,
I'll get you the white spatula here.
okay. Stir it in or just plop it in and then stir it?
Oh, just pop it in.
Christy, is that part of your
Yeah, I go grocery shopping for just my own self, and then I just kind of peruse the aisles.
pretty
and
color.
Look at it.
It smells so good.
And then I just look at stuff and like, I wonder what would go with that. I travel a lot, so I eat a lot of places, and I look at the bar menus, and I start trying to think of what can I make with that. Bartenders are really creative. I follow a lot of them on social media, so I try to formulate how to make that into an Italian ice. It's fun. It can be overwhelming sometimes, kind of like this blackberry thing. I think Landon and I went back 30,000 times with each other, and he's like, no, I said no. He said this, I said no. And then I said that, he said no.
So since these are the fruits, do you want those poured in or mixed in?
You could pour them into the machine when the machine's running.
Okay.
So how many quarts do we have? We're over at so this is a 6-quart capacity machine. So that means it's 6-quart finished product. Does this have any fat? Is it going to expand?
No.
Very good. So we don't want to completely fill it up to the 6 quarts because the machine still needs its room to freeze, but we aren't as in a, or it's not as detriment as if it was a dairy. Dairies, you don't want to go over 3.5 to 4 quarts because it needs to expand. That ice cream has to expand. It has to. It doesn't have a choice. If you don't and you fill too much into it, that goes for either machine, it's not going to freeze properly. It'll take forever, 30 plus minutes, because the machine's not, it's trapped, it's stuck. The product can't go anywhere to expand to freeze right. Non-dairy products, it's gonna freeze, but it doesn't need to expand too much. It just needs to expand the water inside itself, the kind of like a water bottle in a freezer.
So if you find you do make that mistake, you can just relieve some of that
Yeah.
out there and you use it in your second batch?
That's what we're going to do. So we're just going to do exactly that. We're going to pour this in here. We're going to pour those 2 things in there. We'll see how full it is. If we need to pull some out, we can.
Oh, so is this the door level?
Yep, this is the gate.
Lever. Oh, the gate. There it
Rule
is
number
over there.
1, always make sure it's closed, and then you just go ahead and pour that in.
I'm such a lefty, but I use my right
You
hand
can,
is
you
stronger.
can come on this side.
But my right hand is stronger. Or my left hand is stronger.
It is pretty. It's a pretty color.
I'm such a marshmallow. Okay, maybe I need a hand underneath.
So we're going to run this on the sorbet setting, which will be a little bit slower than the Italian ice. Yes,
So 24 quarts in the machine all the way to the left, correct?
that's correct.
And how many quarts in the one in the middle?
6.
6. So say I only want to make like 10 quarts, but I have a 24-quart machine. Will it still come out to the same consistency and the same, same flavor as the other machine?
Good question. So he asked if you put in less amount into the 24 quart, will it come out the same in the consistency and everything? No. So the least you can put of liquid into the 24 quart is 8 quarts. So you can run it at a slower setting to yield you less. But if you put too less of a product in there, so say you put 4 quarts, that's not enough. That's a big cylinder. So that dairy mix is just going for a ride, and it's going to start to freeze. Well, now it's freezing to the wall because you don't have anything in there to churn. So you have to have a certain amount of mix put into it. The smaller guys, it's the minimum maximums, just about the same, 3.5, 4 quarts. If I know I'm not adding any inclusions, like a plain vanilla, I'll do 4 quarts. If I know I'm having fun and adding a lot of stuff, like strawberries or cookies or which not, I'm gonna drop it down to 3.5, 3 1/3. I can do 3 1/3 and be okay. This one has no room whatsoever. It's teeny tiny. So it's 2 quarts, 1 to 2 quarts in, and that's about it. Okay. So we're going to get her started before we add those.
Right.
So we're going to find the sorbet. So touch the screen. Make ice cream. And sorbet, which would be on the next more recipes.
Up here?
Mm-hmm. And start.
Okay. Is everything
And then
ready?
you can get your... Whoops,
It's spitting.
she's spitting at me.
I need goggles.
So she asked in the manual, is it going to remind you of the settings and all of that? Yes. So we have it in there, a chart that goes by super premium is this RPMs with this overrun. Homemade is this with RPMs, this overrun. You could, but you'll become a pro within your 3rd batch and you won't need it.
I'm schooling up the next generation.
I thought I was doing that too. My kids left me high and dry. Oh, they're young. They're teens. Are they teens?
The oldest is gonna be 11.
Oh, they're happy to do it.
And then my kids now, I told them, no, I'll do the ice cream.
We don't have anything to add, but let's do it anyways. So don't go back, just go straight down. You can get your
Just straight down.
just straight down.
Because it's just gonna. But it's so liquidy.
Yeah, that's okay. It's,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like a juice.
Yes.
Oh, damn. I think we're ready. You ready
Really?
to hit start? So you hit start. Okay.
So what happens? Manual.
And now your timer has already started. That
Yeah.
is really good.
No, my kids just said, I told them, I'll do it, I'll do the ice cream, and I'll teach them how to do
Yeah. Oh, now you have interest.
Let's see what else can go in there.
So with this said, you could leave out there's what is that? Champagne.
Prosecco?
Yeah, Prosecco. You could leave that out and just do a grapefruit blackberry Italian ice. Now you're going to go to a wedding. We're going to add Prosecco. We're going to call it a sorbet, and you're going to charge it more. That's just the name of the game. You can do this at specialty events. Anybody near a winery?
Not too far.
We can. Okay, you can pair with the winery. So 1 bottle of wine to 1 bottle of water. So if you use 2 bottles of wine, you use 2 bottles of water, and then you're going to add some sugar. You're going to throw in some berries. So if you have a winery, you can make an Italian ice or a sorbet with their wine. You can pair with their fruits as well. Wine sorbet is really good. So let's talk about alcohols. I have a boozy book in the making. Huh? Say that again? Have I done anything with beer? Yes. So there are a bunch of breweries, and actually I just sold a CB350 to a brewery, and they concentrate their beer. So I have tried it. I try to experiment with a bunch of different ways and choices of how you would do something. So I've done it with just regular beer straight into the machine. Made it very icy. The beer was very liquid, so I diluted the dairy mix, so it wasn't very good. Concentrating and cooking that beer down to a concentrate like a syrup, then adding it to the machine, made it for a fantastic beer ice cream. I do not like beer. Oh wait, I lie. Okay, I just started to like beer, but only Blue Moon and Shock Top. It's the only ones you can give me a drink. Maybe a mango cart. But it is a thing. And there is also in Alaska marijuana infused ice cream. That's starting to become a big thing. She strictly does marijuana ice cream, THC infused. I'm not educated on that as much as I would like to be, because I do get asked that about a lot. Again, check with your states and your local laws to see if that's a thing. But we'll talk about alcohols and what you can and what you can't add. So coconut rums, oh yes. You can't, well, you could, but it's not going to be like really anything. I'm not going to tell you no. I have done gummy bears, but they don't do anything. Huh? So we'll talk about alcohol and the content of what you can and how much you can use. So this is coconut rum. He's a little guy. He doesn't have very much alcohol to him at all. He's low proof. He's like 20%. Once you hit the big guys like Jim and Jack and Captain, those are big, heavy proof. We're talking 40% and higher on some. So the less the proof, the more you can add. The higher the proof, the less you can add. So wines are 12% at best, 14 maybe. You can dump a whole bottle of wine. I've done 2 bottles of wine in this to 2 bottles of water. It runs perfect. If I was to do a whole bottle of this, it would never freeze. The proof is just too high. So just keep that in mind when you do work with alcohols. And you don't want to eat alcohol ice cream. You want to eat ice cream with alcohol notes to it. And there is an alternative too. Hold on. So there is a company called Weber Flavors. They're also in your packet. They make fantastic flavorings. They're older than us. They've been around since 1902. And if you're looking for something that's crazy off the wall, like I've made pizza ice cream, they have pizza, they have cheese, they have tomato flavoring, and they have everything you can think of, and they have a lab that they can also help create something for you. You don't have to buy in bulk, and you can do a mixed case as well, and they sell direct to you. So if you have a popular flavor, but you don't want to buy a case of it with 4 gallons of it, you can do a mix. You can get a gallon of all different types of flavors. They make a fantastic bourbon. If you, I'll let this pass around, you smell it. It smells just like a bourbon, and your customers would never know it's not real. It's a good product.
So this is just aromatics.
It's a flavoring too. So
Oh, it is.
It'll
Oh,
taste
okay.
and smell just like a real bourbon. And I will be very honest, I actually like using that than Jim, because that to me it feels like I'm having a bourbon ice cream versus drinking like an alcoholic bourbon drink on the rocks.
Have you tried any kind of plant, like where we're from in the springtime? We have these things called ramps. You know what a ramp is? It's a really, really strong wild honey. And they have ramp peppers. They put them on burgers and potatoes. And the whole town smells. I mean,
It's strong.
it's very strong. And it actually comes out in your pores when you sweat the next day.
Okay.
I'm sure ramp ice cream would be a hit.
If it's an onion, so he asked about using plants or onions or anything of that sort. I have not, but you've given me a challenge. So if it was me, I would probably take that onion, because onions do have moisture, and I would probably just puree it.
What about dehydrated?
I would rehydrate it, maybe. I've done a sweet corn, so that would probably pair well with the onion, sweet onion, sweet corn onion. That might be pretty good. Balance out that onion.
You can't balance that.
No. Well,
What exactly is butterbeer Italian ice?
Butterbeer.
Is it not beer though, right?
Butterbeer's
No.
not beer, huh?
Oh, is it butterscotch?
It's. I don't like it. It's like a caramelly, butterscotchy flavor.
That's what that is?
It's not. I don't.
I've never
like
had it. The title didn't even, like,
Yeah.
I didn't want it. But I see it at some places where it's popular, and I'm like, what in the heck is that?
I don't care for it. We're at 7. Hold
It's
on
just
one
halfway
second.
point for us, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a little consistency check.
I can see
here.
on the top it's still very liquidy, so that's how I knew it
Very
wasn't really.
Yeah, it looks pretty though. This is gonna be good.
Same thing where we're from. Spring, get mushrooms, wild mushrooms, morels. Heard of those?
Oh yeah.
You ever tried anything with that?
No, but I will say Green Mountain Flavors. So that's that green folder you have. So Stan is a scientist. I love Stan to death. He talks over my head. I'm like, listen, I didn't go to college like that. He's a scientist. I would reach out to him and I would talk. He loves to talk. Spend that time with him. Discuss those ideas. Tell him about the mushroom. I'm sure he's formulated something at some point. Maybe you can ship him some and then he can formulate something just for you guys. It's a family-owned business. They are very small. So if that's something you come across, I bet Stan would eat that up in a heartbeat. No pun intended.
We have an old turnpike tunnel too that they shut down years ago, that they actually grow mushrooms in that tunnel.
Oh.
Ship them. So they try that too.
Yeah, I was in New York and they had it, like I was just sitting down eating, and there was the menu and it had mushrooms grown from West Virginia.
Oh, well.
Wow.
Hallucinogenic ice cream. It's a new thing. You should try it. Yeah, it would be very popular. It would be like the it's like the Heffalump Woozles.
I see pie fillings.
Pie fillings. You probably want to put out 23 cups. 23. So she asked about the pie fillings. I like pie fillings. They come in clutch on a lot of things. If I'm doing an apple pie ice cream or a pumpkin pie ice cream, I will buy the pumpkin pie and then I'll buy a pumpkin pie puree. And then if I'm doing an apple pie, I'll get 2 cans of the pie filling. I like to use the canned cherry for the pie fillings as well. Maraschino cherries are just gross. I also do not like frozen cherries that have been thawed. Those are awful. That is not going to give you that cherry taste that you're looking for. So you will have to use a cherry base, you know, like the red dye 40 in a jug that we talked about. There's no way around that, unfortunately, to make a real natural, true tasting cherry type of ice cream. We grocery shop, as you see. I've done juices. We use syrups, jellies. I love jams and jellies. So if I'm doing like a blackberry cobbler, I'll do regular blackberries frozen that's thawed, and then I'll buy blackberry jam, throw it in there. Blueberry ice cream, if I don't want to use a blueberry syrup, I go buy blueberry jam. I put it in the machine. It dyes it this beautiful purple. It's not blue, but it's purple looking. So that's a way to get away from a artificial syrup, is still using a jelly, a natural jelly.
So how are they getting Italian ices that are sour? What are you putting in? Is there a sour base, a sour?
There's sour mixes you can use. So she asked, how do you make it sour flavoring? Weber Flavors and Green Mountains do have those additives to make it that sour pucker that you're looking for. So that's not anything really natural that you can do. So you'd have to buy that to add it into anything to make it that sour. And I think it's citric acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you could buy. Yes.
With the sour question, would you be able to handle citric acid?
Say that again?
With the sour question, could you handle in citric acid?
I wouldn't. It would ruin your teeth if somebody bit into citric acid.
Sour,
Yeah.
I mean, citric acid has to have something, a solvent to go with it. You can't just
She
straight
knows
get
that more
some
than
of
I
that.
do. There you go. I've used it. It's a liquid that I've used. I almost cursed. My dumb self wanted to see what it was like, and so I dipped a spoon in it, and I regretted that. Absolutely regretted doing that. So don't do that.
Is there any flavor that you wouldn't put in the machine that maybe is adhered to the machine or done something like a bizarre reaction?
She asked, is there any ingredient that I would not put into the machine so the machine acts bizarre? There's nothing I wouldn't do, but there are some that I do tread cautiously with, and that's any type of a peanut butter, a Nutella, a cookie butter. Those are just very thick and heavy. You absolutely can put them in all day long. I do it. I make a cookie butter ice cream using cookie butter, and I use Nutella. What that does, though, is it's just so thick and heavy. If you add way too much of it, it can just kind of overload the machine, and it's just so heavy, it's not going to make a consistent product. It'll start getting colder faster than the butters can really separate. So you'll wind up with like balls of peanut butter because it's just too much in there. So when you work with those type of buttered products, whichever you want to describe it, just tread cautiously with that. Maybe put them in first, let the dasher spin for a minute, kind of break it down, and then turn on the refrigeration if you are adding a lot of it, but that's about the only thing.
But
She asked about ribbiting it in as you're extracting. Sure, you can do that too. But that defeats the purpose of an Emery Thompson and to make your flavor stand out. So we want to add these to the mix, to the machine. Reason why is that dairy is absorbing all of that. So essentially your competitors are doing that. They're doing it by hand. That's just vanilla ice cream coming out with stuff tossed into it. We're putting the peanut butter in, we're putting the cookies, we're putting the Oreos, we're putting all that in because the machine is absorbing all of that, or your dairy mix is absorbing all of that to really truly give you that fantastic product.
So what if you are making a flavor though, that should have like ribbon fudge through it? How do
Sure.
you accomplish that?
We're gonna do that with the coffee one, the last one I think it is, or whichever one. We're gonna do that with this little squeeze bottle. So we're just gonna do that same thing. You can buy the heavy duty bigger squeeze bottle and buy the sauces in bulk, which would be more cost effective for you all. And you would do that just because we're gonna do the chocolate coffee and then we're gonna drizzle it with.
Yeah, so like Loose Traps have
Mhm.
it's a vanilla base, but it has fudge.
I think it's about ready.
Yeah, you can do that with that. You can do it in that video I was going to tell you that has that marble. That one comes out more marbly. It's very pretty. Yeah. Let's get you let me dump this out. Close. I think that's good. So this is a yucky pan. So let's get your little containers here. Yep. And so you'll turn off the refrigeration. And you'll just hold it under and open.
So I noticed that stopped, but should the word stop come out?
Nope, you never want to stop the dasher.
Ah, I was too close.
I'll swap you. There you go. Isn't that pretty?
It's very pretty.
I can't wait to taste that.
Me too. And leave this one and leave it open?
Yeah, keep going until we're out.
Oh, okay. I'm so nosy.
It's okay to be nosy.
So I noticed there's not a little gate there. I don't know what kind of machine. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So you can go ahead and hit stop.
Stop on
Yep.
this one. Okay.
Yep, and we'll just leave the gate open and we'll swap.
Okay.
And then you can scoop up your customers here. But I'm trying one too.
I have a friend named Robin. I know she's going to want to try that one.
That's good stuff.
Just a teeny tiny for me.
So she noticed that there wasn't a grate on that one as there is this one here. So this is a UL requirement. We have to have this little meshy thing here because the hole is so big. I can stick my whole hand in there if I wanted to. So this is a safety mechanism. The hole's not big enough, so when you look in there, it's not big enough for me to stick a hand in there. Everything is removable for cleaning. Wink, wink, wink. I'll go put the...
I've not been great at using this little spatula, so that's why I want to give us some practice.
Are these two out here for a specific reason? Yours?
Only that one.
Okay.
Specific.
All right, I'll take these two then out of your way.
Ooh. I know this looks awkward because I'm lefty, guys. I'm very lefty.
So after this, I think it says on there lunch, yes? What time is it?
You're eating an ice cream.
Huh?
We got an ice cream.
I know. Well, we have the lunch after this, and then we do two more. If you don't mind staying seated, so you've been voluntold.
You can do it.
The last flavor, the two in the back have that flavor. So
I need support.
I'm blind. John and Cammy, gotcha. Your mic and apron are over there. This is an easy one. So What?
He said, oh, yeah.
It's messy, but it's easy. I wish I had one that wasn't open to talk about. But I'm going to make you stand up here while I talk about other stuff, though. I want to talk about Idaberco. This is a fantastic company. This is kind of new to me within about a year. This is a company that makes powdered mixes. Before, powdered mixes used to suck. They don't suck. They are a really good product. This is a shelf-stable powder that you leave on your shelf, and whenever you're ready to make an ice cream product, you get your own milk or your own cream to mix with the powder. And you're ready to go. You have ice cream mix on the fly. I don't know the exact butterfat content. They're working on that for us, so that way we can legally call it 10%. Because remember, 10% has to contain 10% butterfat to be called ice cream. They call this a gelato mix. The directions are on the bag itself. It tells you to mix it with whole milk, but Chef Steve from Idaberco taught me to use a half and half instead. I'll never go back to whole milk. It's amazing. I ship these all over whenever I'm doing some trainings or helping other people, because sometimes sourcing dairy mix is hard to find, like in Alaska or maybe Montana. Having this, you can buy it in cases and let it sit. And then when you're ready, just go to the store, buy your own cream, milk, or whichever, and you're ready to immerse and blend it, and you've got your own product. They also make a sorbet mix. It's a powder. It's a very, very, very smooth. Don't come at me, Chef Steve, but I don't know why we would need this. I mean, I just do make a sorbet with fresh juices and fruits and whatnot, but I have had this and it's extremely smooth. I'll let you guys pass this around so you can check it out. Their contact info is also in your packets as well.
And they do send you samples to try out.
Yes, they do send samples so you can try them. Again, I cannot praise this product enough. It really comes in handy. I've used it so many times, and no customer yet has been able to tell me that they have not tasted the difference between a real dairy ice cream in a bladder like this and that product. It's very good.
They just do sorbet and gelato?
They have another ice cream mix that's not for hard ice cream batch freezers. So I would just stick with the gelato mix. That's what they recommend. They have one of our machines, so they do a lot of testing with it. I love Chef Steve. He's a lot of fun. He was actually in a bunch of those Food Network shows. So if you have a chance, it's on Hulu, where they do like the Greatest Bake Off and all that, those competitions. He's a character. He's a lot of fun. Okay, so we're going to make just chocolate ice cream. We are going to make it with Forbes powder. I'll get you one so you don't have to get up. I don't have one that's not open, but we'll pass around the bag if you'd like. There's two different types of ways that you can make a chocolate, and that's with a chocolate base, which looks just like that, but it's chocolate. Or you can mix it with a powder. I like both, but I'm going to suggest the powder because it's more user-friendly. It stays on the shelf and it's ready to be used when you're ready to use it. The downside with chocolate powders is if you use too much of it, it's going to not scoop very well. You'll have inconsistent issues, so you'll just have to get your formulation correct. But once you hit that sweet spot, you're good to go. This is a sweetened powder. This is not a plain cocoa powder. It's got vanilla in it. It has sugar in it. And Forbes Chocolate does a great job of having a different array. I like to stick with 289 and 287. That's a dark chocolate, and then just a regular chocolate. 289 is my favorite, which when you pass around the bag, just don't squeeze it because it'll like foof. With powders too, it's best to mix just a little bit first, so that way you can get that powder wet, because putting it into the machine will kind of like clump up and then it'll stick to everything. So if you just want to pour some in here just so we can get this wet, remember, choke and smack. You'll never forget, right? Got to take the cap off. And you probably just need about yay much. We know we're gonna use the whole bladder, but we just need some to get this wet to put in the machine. So I'd probably do like half. Release the choke. There you go. I'll weigh this out for you.
We're good.
And then there should be a whisk underneath you. Ooh. Oh, I just. We're going to call that good enough. That's close. Okay, and then you could just pour it in there.
What's the heaviest that you weigh out on that scale?
I don't know. I'll fold it for you guys here so it won't floof. Oh, you guys can't read it if I do that. Oh, yes, you can. There we go. It'll take a hot minute to mix with it. The chocolate bases that do come in those bladders, it's a very good base, but to me it kind of tastes like a fake chocolate, like a chocolate milk, like I'm really just freezing chocolate milk. So if I was going to purchase it, if it was my shop, I would still add just a little bit more of that chocolate powder to it. You can purchase Ghirardelli, that's another big brand out there too. It's really just a chef preference on what you like to use. There's unsweetened cocoa powder. I personally don't like it. I would have to feel like I needed to add more sugar to it to make it taste the way that it should. I have used hot chocolate mix to think I was going to get like a hot chocolate flavor type of ice cream. It was very bland. That didn't work out either. So there is a science in why you should use chocolate powders.
Have you ever heard of hot ice cream?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Heard fried and spicy. I've made spicy.
Hot ice cream is supposed to be ferments that it's really good. I didn't know.
And yeah, it's a celebrity behind it, too, isn't it?
A model.
That's good. The machine will do the rest.
Second her name. She's a model. Tyra Banks.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard since the early 2000s.
But she's in, I want to say Australia.
Huh.
Doing this, and she calls it hot ice cream. I just didn't know if you've heard anything about it or how to make it.
She actually pioneered the whole modeling industry to release like the dark secrets about Photoshop and all of that. She was really for like natural beauty.
Yes.
I remember that. Okay.
Chocolate first or the rest of this?
Either or, your choice. So rule 1, always make sure your gate's closed. Closed. Open.
Something should be running right now, right? Not the freeze part, no?
Nope. So when you pour your mix in, it's best to leave it out, off, otherwise it's going to slosh all at you. If there's a lot of chocolate.
There is.
Here you go. I like Forbes. Their contact is in there as well. Her name is Cherish. She's super nice. They have a lot of big time customers. It's kind of the things that you don't realize who's behind the pencil, right? Just like C. Nelson, they have all their carts in Disney World, Universal Studios. They're everywhere. Emery Thompson's are in so many shops. We have been behind big names. They don't use ours now, like Ben and Jerry's. They started off with an Emery Thompson. They bought a... Huh? Oh, it was in the bathroom. Someone's so... Ben and Jerry's bought a used machine and put it in the back of their Volkswagen Bug, drove it to that gas station that they had bought and purchased, and started to make ice cream on it, and they lovingly named her Emery. Go figure. We are in their book, so if you purchase their book, you'll talk about how they purchased an Emery Thompson with the variable speed on it, which is the fancy new touchscreen that you see today, but back then it was a keypad and buttons. Haagen-Dazs, they opened up just right down the street from us in the Bronx, New York. It was a son and a mom, so they started out there. There's still a lot of big chains that do use ours that keeps it family style, like Salt and Straw, Molly Moon's, Jeremiah's, Rita's. Who's else a big one? There's a bunch of big chains out there that still use Emery Thompsons, and just about every mom and pop that you see. If it's a hard scoop and it's stuck on a cone, most likely it's an Emery Thompson. Any questions? Just ready for a good chocolate? Yes.
Would it be possible to make like a chocolate syrup and use that instead of powder?
Sure. You can do that, and then you can also do like a paste. I've seen some do that too, where they mix hot water and a cocoa powder, and let it sit overnight, and it makes like that thick paste. It's just a mess. It's a mess to work with, but absolutely, there's no off limits on what chocolates you can't use. The machine will handle it. You're the creator. It's your ice cream. You put what you want in there. Remember, you can't make mistakes until you hit start, and even then you can still eat them. Okay. All right. So we can do, what flavor do you want to make? Do you want to do like a homemade, super premium? You want to make it like really thick and heavy, like a custard, like dense?
Team, we haven't done a custard.
Okay, well, it's not a custard base, but we can run it on that setting, which is really low.
Can we try?
Absolutely.
Do you make chocolate frosting?
Yeah, you could. And
Wanna
hit
close
start.
this?
Yeah.
So will Jay use your custard?
One second. You're ready to go, because you know you got everything in there, so you can go ahead and turn on your refrigeration. That's it. We are going to wait for it to freeze. So we used a custard setting, even though there's not a custard base. That's okay. It's just running. You can hear how slow it is. It's just very, 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 very slow. It's going to make it very dense. It's going to make it very heavy, and it'll be a very thick, rich product. What was the question?
Will that take longer to freeze?
It won't take longer just because it's slower, but it will take longer because it has a lot of sugar from the chocolate. Oh, the chocolate frosting, yes. I love working with frostings. I make when I do the cinnamon roll one, I do real cinnamon rolls, cream cheese frosting, because that's what you put on a cinnamon roll, and then I use the compounds. So yes, absolutely. I've done birthday cake, and I put in 2 things of vanilla frosting, because that's what you put on a birthday cake. So essentially whatever you make, how you make it at home is, you're just deconstructing it and letting the machine freeze it instead of bake it.
So you make things like a lemon flavor or a kiwi flavor. Do you use an extract or do you use like dry something lemony?
So she asked about lemon flavor or kiwi flavors. Do we use like an extract or the real stuff? Kiwi is very expensive and very hard to kind of pull out from itself. But what I have done is I've bought freeze-dried kiwis. You can do this with any fruit. And then I have put those freeze-dried kiwis in a big container of water, let them re-plump back up. I've used that same kiwi water because it's been rehydrated and it's flavored like kiwi now. And I've made strawberry kiwi Italian ice with that. You can buy the syrup to do it with. I would probably suggest that. It's less it's less expensive if you do that route. As far as lemon goes, I buy lemons. I buy the lemon juice. Lemon juice is lemon juice. I buy the lemons and then I squeeze it. You can also buy like a pulp that comes in a big 5-gallon bucket. That helps add a lemon flavor to it if you really want to stick with fresh lemons. You can buy citric acid. Usually that's what I would recommend instead of a lemon juice because it's very diluted as far as like a lemon syrup goes. While we're waiting for this, we'll talk about the little guy. This is the CB200. This is the famous one that everybody I say I have at my house. It's very small. It only does 3 quarts of finished product. This is a great machine if you are doing like a menu expansion. So you're a cafe that wants to add ice cream, you're a pizzeria, you are a bakery or something like that. You can do something small like this. This is not recommended for starting out. It's not recommended for testing flavors at home because you can do that on this one. Every house has 220, so you can run this at your home just as easy. And at least you know you can open doors with that machine versus buying this one working like a dog, right? Trying to make enough product. This is also a great little R&D machine for those that upgrade to a 40 quart because the least amount of liquid you can add is 16 quarts. That's a lot of product. So having a small one like this helps a lot in developing flavors. The difference between this one and the other one besides capacity is it doesn't have the IOC. So you can't control the dasher speed. It's one speed only, you can't change it. It makes fantastic ice creams, you just can't control the air content, how fluffy or how dense it can be because it's so small. And I'll show you how teeny. Teeny. It's a little guy. It's a lot of fun. And you wind up with a lot of friends you didn't know you had, especially if you have one at your house. It does a denser product, more super premium if I was to gauge it at anything, yeah. Excuse me. This is the same stand as what the CB350 is. It's just convertible, or it can be for either or machine. We just send the appropriate hardware for it. Any questions?
What is availability like? Like if we want to take that one home today, any of these are available today?
So the CB200 and the CB350, those are in stock. You can pick them up at any time. We can ship them as soon as we receive payment in full. They're ready to go. The floor models, they have a lead time depending on the season. I don't like saying that on camera because 10 years from now you're going to hold me to it. And it's happened. So it's not too long. Any other questions? You guys got quiet after lunch. You're like, whoa.
Sugar crack.
Yeah, sugar. Well, we'll wake you back up with the last one. Look how chocolatey it looks. It's good stuff. It's going to be good. Being that we're running it at a much, much slower speed, it's not going to expand, remember? So the faster it spins, the more it's going to expand. There is a tremendous amount of room still left in this. So if I wanted to add 5 packages of Oreos the last second, I could because it's not expanding a lot. So when you are developing your flavors and your recipes and you're making one on a custard or a gelato setting that's very dense, just keep in mind you still have tons of playroom versus if you're running it on homemade, it would be pretty expanded. You still got lots of room, but not as much as if you were running it on a slower speed.
The custard setting would make it more right?
We're not correct. It's going to make it very dense. It's going to be very heavy because we're not whipping air into it. We're just essentially churning it enough to kind of keep going to freeze is what we're doing. And the science behind it is you're not really freezing the product down. We're pulling the heat out from it. So if you put too less of product into the machine, when I was saying it's sticking to the walls, is it's pulling that heat out, right? Now it froze up on the cylinder and now it can't pull any heat out because that's what it's designed to do. So again, it's not freezing it, it's just extracting the heat to make it a solid product. I know, we got all smart for a second, didn't we? I know, right? That was new when I learned that. I'm like, we're freezing it. They said, no, it's pulling the heat out. We still probably got a good couple minutes or so before we'll need to do a little test on that because it's going to be soupy, but it's going to be so good.
The stands we see there, you have those here too, or are they for like
No, we build them and then we send them off to be powder coated. So they're actually going, or they're waiting to be picked up to be powder coated. We don't powder coat in house because that involves the EPA. So we just send them off, but we build them. So we're out of them right now, but they're getting powder coated.
So are they, like, if we were being inspected in a restaurant, would they expect that they have to have that powder coating? Could we have like a sterling silver or?
No, that's just that's just how we do it, so it lasts long. So it's not going to rust, and so that way if you make messes, and you can wipe it off really, really clean.
Without.
Exactly. Because this is just everyday use, and this is stainless, and it's still got scratches and that kind of stuff. So
So it keeps it looking nice.
exactly, keeps it clean, keeps it sanitary for you, keeps it looking very nice.
But
Yes.
it doesn't rust itself, like even in sea salt environment?
It doesn't rust itself in a sea salty environment as long as there's no nicks or scratches. It shouldn't. No. If it's got exposure, like you've nicked it somewhere, then obviously yes, it will. No. You want to do?
One of those anchored inside of
Not with the stand, but I have with this because food trucks are very small and tight and compact. So the holes are already underneath because we mount them to the stand. So if you do go mobile, you are able to mount this anywhere, but I've never seen it with the stand because they need that floor space for like cabinetry, fridges, that kind of thing. But it is mountable. So remember, it comes out super fast.
It's like a batter.
So boop, boop. You did good. That was perfect.
I saw it from the last guy.
Told you all make fun of each other for it. Looks like pudding.
It does.
Looks good. We'll give it another minute. Maybe another minute we'll do another cutoff check. We'll get 23 cups. Have we hit a minute?
Do we rinse those out?
Hmm?
Do we rinse those
Nope.
out?
We'll do this. You want to do another little boop boop? Might be good. I think that's pretty good. It's cutting it off pretty clean, or you want to go more?
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay, all right. Chef wants to go a little bit more. She wants it to cut off a little bit more cleaner. Again, your preference. There's no right or wrong. You might, amongst your travels or your reading, will hear about measuring to extract at temperature time. We don't do that because sugar alters temp time or temperature. So it depends on your sugar and how much you add. It's going to read different. So you can't say, oh, it has to be at X reading on your temperature to extract it, because it's going to vary from the chocolate, from the strawberry, to your cookies and cream, to your salted caramel. So you can't pull it at temperature. It doesn't. But there'll be some ice cream connoisseurs. You'll hear it. It won't be if you haven't already, that they'll tell you about pulling it at temperature. I thought you had a question. You had me excited for a second.
Sometimes in Florida we have these things, these days that are like high heat index days,
Mhm.
and on the weather, the weatherman will say things like, "You don't have to go outside, don't go outside." So should we get in practice of like batching, you know, when the temperatures are nice and just having it prepared, or like, cause I'm concerned about the room being cool enough to make good ice cream, Italian ice on certain days.
As long as it's the ambient temperature in the room is fine, you'll be okay. It shouldn't have anything to do with what's outside, unless you're going outside to make it.
No, just make it and then go throw it in your deep freezer.
Yes, I would, right away.
Sound.
Yeah. So if you're ready,
Oh yeah.
that's pretty good.
Okay, turn off.
Yep. Yep. Well, let's get you a fresh one. Yours won't do that. Okay, so you're ready to pull. Look at that dark chocolate rich goodness. Look how thick that is. Guys. That's my favorite. We'll use this cream one. This is a good one. I think this one's my favorite. Let's try it.
You wanted to make like a really dark chocolate, like Jenny's has like a double dark. How would you?
I would buy the double dark powder and just use that. You're good, so you can just hit stop and leave it open and just let it finish doubling out if you want to go ahead and scoop it. Yeah. Again, adding too much of a powder can make for your ice cream to be very flaky because it's just, I don't know the science behind it, but I've done it myself. I've used way too much chocolate powder and it winds up making it really flaky and hard to scoop. This one you would have to have at a colder temperature because it's super sugary. So your dipping cabinet has walls, right? Chest freezer, dipping cabinet, whichever. Those are your coldest points. You want to keep your really sugary products at the coldest points of your freezer. You want to keep your non-sugary ones like vanillas or banana pudding in the center where it's warmer. So the sugary, the content, the colder it needs to be, the less sugary, the warmer. So if you're stressing out because your chocolate is hard as, or is extremely soupy, and your vanilla is like hard as a rock, swap where they're at. It's probably because you just need to put them in different spots. So just keep that in mind. A warmer spot is always going to be in the center. And then heat rises too. So keeping everything down low in the bottom of the freezer, if it's a chest freezer where it's at the coldest point. If you do use a chest freezer method, I would not overload them. I would just do the entire bottom, get that full, get it nice and hardened the next day, make fresh. Move that stuff that's already hardened, put the fresh on the bottom, and put the other back on top of it. Because you don't want to keep adding fresh because heat rises. So you don't want the heat to come up to the ice cream that you just made. So put the hardened stuff on top. You could also, this is another great method, purchase a hardening cabinet just to harden your products. Once it's hardened, then you can move it to a chest freezer. So you don't have to leave it in there and use it as storage. You could use it as storage. There's nothing wrong keeping it at 25 below. But you can use it just to make product, freeze it down. Once it's hardened, the next day you come in, move it there for holding, and then make more product, do the same thing, move it over there for holding. You guys are going to love this one. It's so good.
And then just to clarify too, so you were talking specifically about the hardening cabinet for, you know, keeping the like non-dairy in the middle to make it, or sorry, the outside to keep it colder, right? But then when you're going to serve that, you would serve that at a higher temperature.
You keep, if it's a dipping cabinet, you keep it in the, I'm confused.
I'm just
One more
saying,
time, sorry.
That's for the hardening cabinet, is like how it freezes.
Dipping cabinet.
Right, the dipping cabinet.
Are you talking,
What
you,
you do in the
Oh,
is a
okay.
flat.
yeah,
So sorry. So the hardening cabinet, like
Everything
let's say you
goes
just
in there.
made, a creamy ice cream and you made like a non-dairy. In the hardening cabinet, you would keep the
All of it in this-
non-dairy on the outside.
nope, all of it in the same place, same spot, doesn't matter which way you put it, 25 below is 25 below.
Okay.
Yeah, the dipping cabinet is where you want to put your certain products.
Okay.
Non-dairy is going to be like a dairy-free, or are you talking like Italian
Well,
ices?
Italian ice. Yeah.
Italian ices, that would need a completely different dipping cabinet. You can't put that in the same as your ice cream.
Right.
You can do gelato and Italian ices in the same one because gelato is so thick and dense that it needs to be warmer to scoop. So those two you can, but ice cream needs its own.
Italian ices, the different flavors and stuff constantly take your mind to like, let me move this, let me put this, because you're moving the glass door either open, back and forth, or left and right, and air is getting in, so you'll, like she was saying, the sugary ones are gonna be the ones where you have to decide, like cotton candy, let me move that one, and then like blue raspberry that you can swap those because it's more water in blue raspberry. I'm thinking.
Well, the blue
Something
raspberry
about
is.
it stays hard longer than like cotton candy and mango.
Are you using Philly ice?
That's what we're getting from a wholesaler.
Yeah.
Oh, who you telling? I'm surprised people love it. But they're gonna really love us when we start making it.
You can't make blue raspberry. That you have to still buy like a dye, and you still have to buy the syrup for. That's really hard to do naturally.
We'll probably make that thing in the past. He don't really like deal with blueberries either. So.
Juices are my friend. I really love juices for Italian ice. Just when you go to the grocery store, just stop at the juice aisle and just look at how many juice choices there are. There's apple, there's peach, there's mango, there's pineapple, there's guava, there's banana, peach, mango. There's so many choices. Just look at those and you can say...
Who's a good distributor for bulk juices? Like, is it Goya? Is it...
That's a good question. I've never sourced a bulk for juice. I've never sourced a juice bulk person. Probably Sam's Club, Costco. But I've never heard, maybe like a Restaurant Depot. You have to have a tax ID number for those, though.
You're probably best off going to like a Sam's
Yeah.
Costco because unless you buy in real big
I'll give
bulks,
2 to them in there. Sorry.
they're not gonna
Don't forget you one, do it so good. You did good. This one's so good. Oh.
Thank you.
No sleeping, we're almost there.
That's why the tour is now, so we can walk around and wake up.
Very nice, Jeff, thank you. It's not too sugary sweet, it's just nice.
It's good, isn't it?
This is Willy Wonka good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I'll take that out there if you don't mind to write chocolate, chocolate, and chocolate. And then you can find I'll get you the marker. If you don't mind to put them in the freezer. Here you go. Yes, you did get you a cup, right? Okay. So you did great. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. I'm gonna get me another bite of that. That was good stuff. Yeah. Okay.
So homemade fast is more out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Very good. So you tried homemade. That was the vanilla. You tried a super premium, which was the strawberry. And then you tried it on the very, very slowest setting we have, which is custard. So that is the difference. So you had a good product. It was a good texture. Then you went down to, a little bit more of a dense product. And then we had a just superior type of product as far as density goes. However, if you do that, you're not going to get a whole lot more product back out. So you're not going to really get a bang for your buck. We only got 3 pans versus like 6 that we probably would have gotten. Huh?
So just charge a little more for it.
You go for it. No, well, it needs to be higher butter fat. I mean, it doesn't need to be. Again, there's no law definition that says it has to be XYZ for a super premium. Just super premium is traditionally a higher butter fat, like about 14%. Up north, so the more north you go, the higher butter fat you'll see. The more south you go, the less butter fat. So here, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, we stick around 10%. Then you start hitting 12% around North Carolina, Tennessee, the Texas, Oklahoma. Then you get to Montana, and then you get to Vermont, you get to New England. You're looking at 16, 18% butter fat. I personally don't like that. Huh?
Because they have more cows up north?
No, it's a regional thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just a regional thing. Here in the South, it gets very hot. It's very heavy. So trying to weigh yourself down with an extremely high butter fat, it's just not settling on the stomach very well. When you have a very high butter fat, it is definitely noticeable. I hit 16% and I can start feeling a film on the roof of my mouth. And it's just very filmy. It's just greasy to me because it's that fat content. Vermonters, is that what they call you guys?
I mean, yeah.
Maple people, syrupers, syrupers. They're used to that. I'm not. So if I'm traveling to you and you get a snarky nose that a customer didn't like it because it was too fatty, that's okay. That's me. All of your other normal customers will keep coming back because they love it. But I know the difference. What are you talking about, Vermonters? Syrupers? What are you guys called? We're called Florida crackers. I mean, that's what we are.
I know you're filming.
Cut that out. It is. That's what we're called. Or that or the Florida man. Florida man. Yeah, that's Florida. All right. So we're going to move to our last flavor. Cammie and John, right?
Yep.
Yes, they were wanting to volunteer together to do this one. I have 2 aprons, but 1 mic.
One mic. Rock, paper, scissors.
That's perfect, she can do the mic.
Here you go. I'm just going to do a water real fast since we did an Italian ice. Oh yeah. Freeze dried, yes.
Strawberry kiwi. Is there any other way you've been making strawberry kiwi?
You could buy the kiwi syrup.
Oh, okay.
They have powdered mixes, like the flavor packets, like Country Time Lemonade. They have strawberry kiwi. Those work.
Is it working?
Oh, look at that.
Shoot. I didn't want that.
So you know how we went from strawberry to chocolate? Didn't affect it, did it? See, this might, being such a small little cylinder, so I wanted to flush this out, and you can still see there's some little berries. So
You just dumped water in that and
yeah, just wishy-washy, just enough to get it out of there. I'm gonna go grab the mix. I'll be right back. They're going to go home and say choke and smack now for everything. Okay, you don't count. You're not allowed to listen today. You have to turn that off.
Okay, just grab it when it comes by.
I think I probably would have said, even if I.
Right?
that's what they say for the last.
It's just like that.
Tell I don't work in the kitchen.
Huh?
You can tell I don't work in the kitchen. Can't even get an apron on. They can't be one time. That's fine.
Okay. Everybody got their recipe? Perfect. So they have their recipe here. This is a last minute add. This was Sarah's suggestion to add some booze to it. Okay, so we need 3.5 quarts of dairy mix. So we're going to measure it out. So there should be, let's get the big tub in the back. Okay. And you'll measure out 3.5 quarts of mix.
Choke it, squeeze it. I'm learning, right?
Choke and smack. That's it.
Choke and smack.
Choke and smack. She did.
Gonna be good.
So you'll never make a spill. Release the choke a little. There you go. It's definitely a workout. I'll get your chocolate weighed out for you guys.
Okay. Three and a half.
Oh,
Is that the same chocolate that we just had?
yep, it's the same chocolate.
So you can throw the Forbes.
This is the Forbes here.
Yep. You ready?
Yep. Yeah, it poofs. We need 5 ounces of this, but it's in a measuring cup behind you.
Okay.
Because when it's instant coffee, so you can do a cold brew, you can do a concentrated. I really like instant coffee because it's designed to dissolve, so it does what it's supposed to do. It actually browns the ice cream, so if I was just making a coffee ice cream, it would turn it beautiful brown. Measuring it by volume, because they're freeze-dried crystals. If you try to measure it by weight, it would take a whole lot of stuff to make it weigh anything. So that's what we measure by volume.
Is that the right measuring cup?
It's on the outside of the tub.
This one here?
Yes.
This is good.
Yep. 5 ounces.
5 ounces.
Wait, what were you saying? Did it sink to the bottom or does she need the whisk?
It's just getting it wet. The whisk is wet. We only have 1. I should probably get 2. Oh, it's not wet. It's still good.
Still chocolatey.
Still chocolatey. Here, we'll swap you.
I like coffee, so I'll put a little extra.
Why is it blue? Must be something in the powder.
It's good. All right.
Okie dokie. That's good. Yep, the machine will do the rest. You could put it in there. You could put it in when the machine's running. Your choice.
Let's do it
You're
when
the
the
chef.
machine. Yeah, let's do it. Let me get rid of this somehow. You ready? Go ahead.
And then here. Oop, dripping down the side. It's okay. Practice makes perfect. I'll get a nap again.
Do put the rest of this in too?
No, we
Okay.
only just needed 3.5 quarts of it.
Okay.
Open this.
We are missing mic number 2.
That would be you.
Nope, that's mic number 3.
So it would be her. Her mic's not on. So we're gonna get it started. So this is a gelato, correct? Is that what we're making? Yep. So
Yes.
you're gonna touch here. You're gonna hit make ice cream. You're gonna find gelato and start. And you're gonna go ahead and add the coffee. And then the sea salt is there. Probably I would just do like eyeball a tablespoon.
So eyeball a tablespoon. Tell me when it looks like a tablespoon.
It smells so good.
Got it? Yes. Good. That's about right. That's enough.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start the refrigeration because we have 2 bags of chips that we want to add, but we want to wait a couple minutes into the batch before we add. So you can go ahead and turn on the refrigeration. And so we'll wait about 2 minutes and then we'll add, yep, you can close it. And we'll wait about 2 minutes and then we'll add those 2 bags of chips here.
Sounds good.
So when you're adding anything that's like a little bit of a mini chip like this, I like to wait a couple minutes into the batch where the product's a little bit more thicker, so the mini chips will stay suspended. They'll tendency to sink to the bottom, and that's okay. It'll eventually get itself through there, but waiting till it's a little bit more firmer, it helps keeps these suspended because they're not going to disintegrate. They're going to stay the same shape and they're not going to change. Same thing with Heath pieces. This is a
23,
toffee,
I think.
so that's why we're going to call it the
That's enough.
big name salted toffee mocha crunch
4, 8,
gelato. It's a mouthful,
16.
but it's going to be a good
Yeah,
product,
a
huh?
little tighter, huh?
Oh yeah, we've got alcohol, guys.
Yeah, we got to put that in.
Yeah. It's a Bailey's knockoff.
4, 8, 12, 16.
You want to add?
No, we're good.
We still got time.
We still got time?
I would do a couple, about
Half?
3 glug glugs, like glug
Okay.
glug glug glug. That's good. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, let's taste it. Let's make sure.
You get the taste.
We might need a couple more glug glugs. Well, I'm going to
Knife?
taste it. Oh, man.
Heavy on the coffee.
Yeah?
That's good.
Do we want more glug glugs? Are you good?
I think it's good. I think it's
Okay,
good.
all right.
People got to drive home.
I think that's the least of the worries here.
You got it?
You yourself will measure all your products. It's a lot of fun, obviously, to do these without measuring anything, just so you can see how easy it is. You can't make a mistake. You really can't mess up. It doesn't take months of developing flavors to learn what you're going to make. You'll have it figured out at least
Correct.
by your second or third batch. As you saw, we could taste it. Go ahead. As you saw when we tasted it, you still have plenty of time. We were 1.5 minutes, and we still could add the coffee liqueur at no problem. I actually wanted espresso chips, but I could not find them anywhere, so I opted for Heath pieces. So that changed the name of my game. That changed the flavor name. And again, that's something you can do super easy. You're out of something. Nobody's going to know that those are Heath pieces. They're just going to call them really good crunchy stuff. When you taste them, you're not going to recognize it at all that it's a Heath piece because the coffee is actually absorbing all of that. So it's running at a very slow setting. So this is one up from the custard. So you have the homemade, you have your super premium. The next one would be like a gelato, and then the very lowest overrun would be that custard setting. So this will have a very dense, heavy texture to it as well. Any other questions?
Is there any kind of software or anything that's happening with the machines that would ever?
Is there any software updates that would need to happen with the machines? And no, there's not. So this is it. This is what it's like. In the event you break your screen, we've had that. Somebody turns around with a tray and cracks it. It's just 4 simple screws and a module. Ship you a new one, put the module back on the little key thingy, and then 4 screws and you're done. Something simple you guys can do. The only 2 tools you need to work on this machine is just an Allen key and a Phillips head screwdriver. That's it. That one is needle nose, pliers, crescent wrench, and a screwdriver. That's all you need.
Sample if something went wrong with it or whatever, I could call and work with somebody over the phone to try to troubleshoot.
Absolutely. So that's what we're here for. If you can change a tire, you can, well, that's actually harder than working on these. You just call us first, tell us what's going on, just kind of describe it to us, send us a video, send us an email or whichever. We do monitor over weekends, holidays, after hours as well. Biggest thing is call us, leave us a voicemail. Be detailed with that because we'll call you back if it's an emergency. But yes, we'll walk you through everything, tell us what's going on, and we'll stay on the phone with you and help you get you back up and running.
What's the most common thing that happens on the machine that we would need to call for?
What's the most common thing that happens on the machine that you would have to call for? You're the problem. It's operator error 95% of the time. And it could be your water line is kinked, you move the machine and you move to clean, you put it back, you kink the water line. You put a blade in backwards. You forgot to put a spring on. Your water, you forgot to turn it back on. I had a customer from Hawaii messaging me at 3 a.m. and he's like, I need help. And he was so panicked. And he's sending me photos, sent me videos, and I'm troubleshooting with him. And then he replies back, he's like, yeah, I forgot to add sugar. So he was just running water and fruit. So it's operator error. It's just, and it'll be a lot of us. So when we ask you questions, it's not that we're trying to, be demeaning. It's we're trying to figure out PI. We're playing investigation. Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Are you sure you did that? So it's that kind of walking you through.
With the big machine like her in Alaska, if her power goes off, does she need to blow her lines out to keep it from freezing up?
So we don't have like a winterization process. We just send you a procedure how to blow the water lines out of the TX valve. So that I would recommend. But if it's not going to be freezing temps, then I wouldn't worry about it. The air cooled, obviously, there's nothing you can do. It's just air cooled.
She's going to be 40 below.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's not below freezing, it's okay. But we send a procedure on how to do that. There's really not much that you can't do yourself. And if you can't, we do have a database of refrigeration companies we have used before in the past, because that's all it is. And if we can't find one, then we just literally Google refrigeration company near Alaska. And then that's who we call. So it's not complex at all.
We're pretty resilient. We know how to fix a lot of things. If we don't, figure it out.
Yep, I have learned that across regions. So Puerto Rico never needs help. Alaska, Montana, Wyoming, Hawaii, those are very resilient people. Any islanders, they're good to go. Yeah, you guys learned. That's it. Yep. So we're pushing 8 minutes. Let's get a couple containers here. Here's one. We'll probably need one more. Oh, it's sliding. Okay.
There you go.
So you said the gelato setting would be about 30% less?
I don't know the percentage. It'll give you about 35% overrun, so 35% more product than what you put in. So you're just going to open, close real fast. Close.
Gotta be quick.
Yep. So it's pretty good consistency. That's about what we're at now. So we'll probably let it go until 10, and then we'll pull it at 10. This is, again, just our preference on how we want to pull it. There's no right or wrong way. This one's going to be really good, too. And then...
Screen saying when
I'll do
we're
that,
going
and you can do
slower,
that.
is the screen gonna like show us a number, like RPMs?
Yeah.
Is it gonna say custard? Is it gonna say,
Mhm.
yeah, that's right, I remember I saw it.
Yep, it
But
does.
then this one is slower than custard, right? This
Nope,
one you're making
it's a
now?
little bit faster.
Faster than-
Custard is
What's the name of that
gelato.
one? Oh.
So do you harden all this gelato at -10 and then serve it 6, or what is the?
Gelato's about 13 degrees. That's a good starting point. So you harden it at anything 10 below, and then you move it after it's hardened to serve around 13 degrees.
Okay.
And then the little squirty bottle you had. Oh, so when it's ready to pull, so I'll let you who wants this?
I'll do it.
Okay. So when she's opening this, you're going to slide your container back and forth, and then you're just going to squeeze it in there as she's... I think I took the thing off, did I?
I think so. Yep.
Okay.
In a zigzag form. Get on this side.
Yep, you can turn off the refrigeration first. Yep. And then as she does that, yep, and then the other pan is above your head.
I've been corrected up here already.
She's like, too much.
Didn't take long, did it?
And then the other pan is up there. I'll take this from you.
If there's too much caramel in it, it wasn't my fault.
Is there really such a thing?
I say no.
It's getting thick, huh?
What's funny, Sarah, is you were like, kept pointing, you were like, alcohol, alcohol, alcohol.
Just looking out, Christy, just looking out.
You really don't get much when you do gelato.
No, it's a very,
You got a lot of caramel, but by the way, hopefully you like it. Is she done? That's it?
yep,
huh?
she can hit the stop on the screen. You can stop the dasher on the screen.
Then you can close it. Good? You good? Yeah, go ahead.
This smells so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for mixing the caramel in. So.
Oops, making a mess here. Uh-oh. If this was my store before I served it to the customer, I would probably sprinkle a little couple granules of sea salt. That's probably what I would do.
Okay, I saw sea salt and I didn't know they already added it.
We did.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, but you'd add more.
I would just on the top, just on the top, like on the customer's cup.
All right, is that 23?
I don't know. I didn't count.
3, 7,
We do a lot of cooking, the whole experience, right?
15,
More than we do.
19, 20.
I just need 2.
That's 23. Leave her 2.
Yep, there you go. All right.
I'll bring those around. Or do you want to do it?
Going behind you.
You're the chef. I'm the server. I need one more spoon. Can we have one more spoon?
It's right here.
Right there.
Boop. All right. Uh-oh. I'm coming in.
There, you got your. Hopefully it's good. Definitely.
We do have a key supplier list on our website, so if anytime you want to pop on there, just pop on key suppliers, and then there's dairy suppliers next to it too, so you can just kind of see who we recommend and who we've used before. Any questions? Or are we ready for the tour? All right, so Landon does have certificates for you guys, so he'll come out and do that. But in the meantime, thank you. Got to sign off for the camera here. But thank you all for coming. It was great to have you, and well, welcome to the Emery Thompson family. We'll see you next time. Hi, welcome to the Make It Fresh seminar. My name is Christy Brown, and we are going to make lots of flavors today. I am by myself, first time in record history. I'm super pumped and excited. We have a great class out there. Say hello to everybody.